Hello.
Hi, guys.
So today I ran across, well, actually yesterday, I think, article on CNN, which I don't really watch that or listen to, but I happened to see it and it caught my eye. It said grocery prices are rising in America again. Here's what got more expensive. So as I was reading this article, I just had to comment on it because it's just too good to not comment on it. So I'm going to read you some of this article, and then Mom and I are going to give you our thoughts on this. Did you read the article?
I read the article.
I don't think you noticed what I noticed in the article. All right. U.S. grocery prices ticked up in May after dipping in March and April. Really? So first of all, they dipped in March and April. How is it no one was talking about this except for us? Just
yeah, because you
wondering.
mentioned several times your groceries, your grocery bill is going down a little bit.
Yeah. So, but did CNN mention that? No, I didn't see anything. Inflation in America continued to fall significantly, but rising prices at the supermarket is unwelcome news to those struggling to pay for food. Okay, how much do you spend on food, Mom?
About $20 a week.
Are you struggling to pay for your food?
No, I'm not. As a matter of fact, I probably could cut back and not get some of the special things.
Okay, so I know this is not something that people want to hear, but the majority of Americans, there's really, I would say probably 99% of the people in America, there's no reason for you to be struggling to pay for food at all. They're just trying to get sympathy from you, get you to feel bad for yourself, have excuses for not paying your bills, that type of thing. Go ahead.
Well, it's kind of like they're feeding on your fear.
Yeah. Well,
they
are.
Yeah, and they're wanting to build it up and make it even worse.
Yeah. From April to May, adjusted for seasonal swings, grocery prices rose. Okay, so now get this. From April to May, so in March and April, they went down. But from April to May, adjusted for seasonal swings, grocery prices went up 0.1%. More expensive, according to the Bureau of Labor. Menu items went up 0.5% at that time. Overall, grocery prices were 5% more expensive in May.
So menu items, does that mean going out to eat?
Probably.
But yet people are worrying about the groceries going
up. But they're
going out to eat just as much, if not, just as much.
Why are you still going out to eat? If you cannot pay for groceries, why are you going out to eat? And don't sit here and tell me it's cheaper to go out to eat than buy groceries.
Oh, my, no.
I know it's not. I just had lots to say on this article. But overall, grocery prices were up 5.8%. So we'll round it to 6, give them the benefit of the doubt. So that means that my grocery bill, that was $400 last month. Supposedly, according to this, it's now $424.
Yeah. Now, $424, I want you to think about
for your $80 a month grocery bill. That means that it went up $4. So now it's $84 a month. Is that really going to break the bank?
No. Well, the thing is, I don't think people realize, everybody panics over these. I think it's because the media stuff. Yes, things are going on. We don't have our heads buried in the sand. But I've lived 71 years now, almost 72. And I have seen so much up and downs financially that it's been unbelievable. This stuff has been happening for decades. People have been hollering about inflation, about things, happening here and this, that, and the other. I just watched it. And what you do is you don't panic over it. That's just life. I'm sorry. It's just the way life is. And for some reason, we've got a couple of generations right now that think this shouldn't be happening to us. Life shouldn't be doing this to us. No, life doesn't just continually get bitter and bitter and bitter. It has its ups and downs. There's good, like, I'm probably jumping ahead, I know, but it said in there that the eggs skyrocketed, but now they're dropping way down.
Mother, you just blew
I
my
know.
whole point.
Oh, I'm sorry. But that's what my point is. If you just wait long enough, these things change over and over and over, or you adapt. If they don't change, then you learn to adapt to it. You have to be adaptable in this stuff, you know.
Menu prices have risen 8% over the past year. Okay, why are you still eating out? I'm sorry. Every single time I go to the store, it doesn't matter what time of day, there is a line at Wendy's, there is a line at McDonald's, and there is a line at Starbucks.
Or
why
even
are you
like
still
at
doing
Perkins
this?
and that, there's the parking lot's always full.
They're waiting outside every Sunday after church. There is probably 10 to 15 people waiting outside every Sunday to get into Perkins because the parking lot is full. Stop! Just stop it.
Well, what frustrates me is you don't think anything about going out to eat like that or doing other things. But when it comes to groceries, everybody hyperventilates, you know, when the grocery prices go up like, what was it, 6%? And yet car prices are going up higher, but that hasn't stopped anybody from buying new cars, you know, houses and stuff like that.
All right, so to help you combat this video is brought to you by our Dining on a Dime cookbooks.
Got it upside down.
That's because we'll lower your grocery prices. 25% off right now, all our cookbooks, guys. Margarine spiked 22%. That means the 80-cent thing of margarine that I used to buy is now $1.05, somewhere around there. Flour jumped 17%. Bread spiked 12%. Sugar rose 11%. Meanwhile, juice and other non-alcoholic drinks popped 9.9%, almost 10%. What are you doing drinking juice and alcohol? Cut the booze, people. I know you need the booze to deal with life, but...
And cut the juice.
Cut it. Your kids don't need juice.
No.
You don't need the booze.
You can get the vitamins from the juice, same as from a orange or something like that. So
lettuce went up 9%. Here, lettuce has gone up 100%. It was this time last year was 98 cents a head. It's $1.94 or something now a head. Ham went up 8%, and brace yourself, ice cream went up 8%. Okay, you don't need
1/3 of it is just junk food.
A third of that right there. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that got me. Okay. But some things had smaller increases. Cheese went 3%, chicken 0.9%, fresh fruits and vegetables 0.6%, and uncooked beef roast stayed flat. Now, roast actually went down for me. $2.99.
Some things went down.
It's hold on. I'm getting there.
You can tell she tells me like an hour before what's going on. This is
a rant video.
Oh, and I'm not letting you rant.
You're not letting me rant.
No, I'm not going to let you rant.
But here's the thing. Okay, this is what got me. A variety of factors have caused food prices to rise. Extreme weather. I'll give you that. Okay. The war in Ukraine. The bird flu. However you say the fancy word for bird. Flu. Higher costs along the supply chains have all led to higher prices. Plus, food sellers have used the disruptions as a cover to raise prices. With food sales up, even though consumers are buying fewer items, those prices are likely to remain elevated. Well, of course they are. Once they raise the prices, they're not going to go back down again, even if their costs go down. That's just bad business.
See, part of it, you're expecting the prices to go up is what they're saying in this. Consumers kind of think prices are going to be going up, and they're taking advantage of it.
Because everybody's talking about food prices going up. So they're like, they're talking about food prices going up, so we're going to take advantage of that. That's just good business.
You got to read between the lines and really read these things carefully and what they're really saying here.
By the way, if you guys have questions, put them in the comment section and Mike will send them to me as soon as I'm done with my rant. Now, the war in Ukraine. I'll give you the weather. The war in Ukraine basically does not affect the U.S. food supply at all.
No, I don't know.
I'll give you maybe sunflower oil, maybe. But I don't even think that really affects the U.S. that much, possibly a little bit. But it certainly doesn't affect flour. It doesn't affect the U.S. flour. And the bird flu, okay, that's a great excuse, but we're going to read down the article in just a little bit later, and I got a little bit more to comment on that. And then higher costs along the way to food supply chain. Okay, yeah, I mean, when my printer charges me more for paper, for my planners, for my cookbooks, I'm not going to eat those costs. These businesses are not going to eat the costs. They are in business to make money. They're not in business to just give you something for free.
Well, I told Tara, it's been like 2 or 3 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, everybody started hollering, and I mean really hollering about, I can't live off minimum wage. And I told Tara, I said, do they not realize that if they keep at this rate getting so upset over minimum wage and wanting it to go way high to like $15 or something, do they not understand that these businesses, what they do, they're not going to eat the cost. They're going to make their customers eat the cost. So Walmart, the grocery stores, the fast food places, every place like that, what they do is, sure, they'll raise the minimum wage, but what they're going to do is they're going to raise the cost of everything then. And so these people that were hollering that they couldn't live off a minimum wage just made things worse, not only for themselves, but for everybody, you know? And I thought, why can't people follow it through and understand basic economic principles? It's not that hard to figure out. If these businesses are having to pay employees way more money, the prices on their products are going to go up. That's just the way it works.
Way it goes. All right. Still, there's been some relief since last year, though. Bacon fell 9%. I'm telling you, I haven't had bacon this cheap in years. You guys saw me 60 pounds of bacon I got forever. Citrus dropped 5%. Whole milk dropped 3%. Pork chops dropped 2%. And seafood fell 1%. Okay, so let me get this straight. Ham went up 8%. But bacon and pork chops both went down.
That doesn't really
That doesn't even make sense.
No, because
there is absolutely no reason why ham would go up, but bacon and pork chops would go down. There's no reason. They're all processed basically the same. It doesn't even make sense.
Come from the same animal.
So are they even telling the truth?
Yeah, makes you wonder.
So here's the next one, though. Here's the big one the next big one. Even though grocery prices have ticked up overall from April to May, a number of individual prices got cheaper, notably eggs. Wait a minute. Didn't we just say up here in the article that part of the reason why, the excuse for a variety of factors have caused food prices to rise, the bird flu.
The bird flu.
Okay, so wait a minute. One paragraph above, they're blaming the bird flu for high prices. Yet, 2 paragraphs, however you want to look at this, I don't know, down, now it's saying eggs have dropped because of the bird flu. Make up your mind. That really got me ticked off. In the same exact article, they're blaming the bird flu for high eggs, and they're blaming the bird flu for the drop in egg prices.
But see what happens. You'll read something like this, and it immediately worries you, concerns you, panics you, you know. But you've got to be careful reading this stuff. Even if it's coming from a news place that's supposed to be reputable, they aren't anymore. They are not telling things. They're manipulating you, trying to get you to, just do what I saw a thing today. Did you see Tyler yesterday?
No, I didn't watch him yet. I saw he came out.
From Tyler from Generation 2434, he showed a clip of these financial, they're like the third highest financial people, I guess, in the world or something, big business thing. And the CEOs or something of the company was sitting there, and they said, we're going to, one way or the other, get people to start doing what we want them to do.
Yeah.
That's
I saw that article.
Did you see that?
I saw that. I didn't see Tyler's thing, but I saw that video you're talking
and
about.
And they said, no matter what it takes, we're going to force them to do what we want. And they're using these types of methods. So be careful, guys. I mean, even if the prices are going up, just adapt to them. Go with the flow, do the best you can, but don't panic or get afraid over them, you know.
Okay, let me see. Okay, here's the verse. Okay, I'm going to finish my rant, then I shall not be moved. I'm going to address her comment. Okay, so let's see. So then they go on to say how the bird flu causes egg prices to go up. Yes, they did. So how did we solve that problem? I didn't buy eggs. Instead of buying a dozen eggs a week, I bought a dozen eggs a month or every 6 weeks. I just stopped buying eggs. I used substitutes for eggs. I used applesauce. I just didn't use eggs. We didn't eat eggs. You just stop buying this stuff when you can't afford it.
That's part of what I'm talking about, adapting. For example, you go in, well, in our book, I think we've got several. We even have a cake, I think, in there too, but that doesn't use eggs. But you make cookies for a while. The cookie recipes that you have without eggs, make those for a while. Find ways that you don't need to use as many eggs. You just adapt, and instead of letting your mind go into a panic mode or fear or worry, you just think, okay, how can I overcome this? How can I figure out what to do? What's the best way to do this? Do cooking without eggs.
Oh my goodness, I just caught something else I didn't even see before. Oh my word. I'm going to finish reading the article so you can have the whole context. The highly contagious bird flu reduced the number of leg-laying hens last year. That, among other factors, sent egg prices way up. Yes, it did. This year, despite fears to the contrary, the deadly virus seems to be under control. Really? No kidding. How many other times have we controlled it? But as supply stabilized, demand failed to keep pace, driving prices down. The lull in egg sales was caused in part by people pulling back when prices were shockingly high. Really? See what happens when you don't buy it? The prices will go down. On top of that, spring is always a slow time for the market after Easter and Mother's Day, but before back-to-school breakfast season, people typically buy fewer eggs. Okay, so eggs are in season now, but people aren't buying them, so now is the time to buy eggs. Other items also got cheaper since April. Pork chops dropped 1.5%. Now, up here, it says pork chops fell 2.2%.
I know. I caught a couple of those like that.
Over the past month, bacon fell 1.3%, but up here, bacon fell 9.8%.
I know.
Fish and seafood went down 1.6%. Up here, seafood went down 1%. Let's see. Rice and pasta went down 1.2% and butter dropped 1%. But several items got more. So listen to this. Several items got more expensive as well. In the meat aisle, uncooked ground beef went up 2%. Fresh whole chickens 1.9%. And ham got 1.6% down here. But up here, ham was up, where'd it go? 8%. In the very same article, people. Are you kidding me? Then it says, elsewhere, lettuce jumped 5%. But up here, lettuce went up 9%.
I know. I saw that.
Down here, margarine went up 2%. But up here, margarine spiked 22%.
Mm-hmm.
Down here at the bottom, it says apples went up 1%, where it said, I thought it said something, didn't say something about fresh fruits and vegetables going up, I thought.
I thought they said they went down.
Where'd it go?
Maybe not.
Let's see. I'm looking.
I saw it in there too, but I don't have
citrus fruit fell. Seafood fell. Okay, I don't see I thought I said something about fruit and
It did,
vegetables,
but
but
I
now
don't-
I'm not seeing it. Okay, so we'll just give them that. But here it says sugar rose 5%. But up here, it says sugar went up, where'd it go? 11%. Guys, this is in the same article. Bread went up 0.4%. And up here, it says bread spiked 12%. People, stop listening to the news. This one article on CNN contradicts itself, the entire article. And yet you keep listening to this baloney all the time.
What you need to do is you just need to know your prices in your area. If they're higher, then just follow the tips we tell you to do and do the best you can. You know, it's just, you've got to get your mind off of the exact, how do I want to say this? Everybody wants to know the prices. What are we paying for stuff? You know, what do we pay? Stop worrying about the numbers. Look, they got the numbers all over the place on this one article.
In the one article, they can't even be consistent with themselves.
So stop worrying about the numbers. You memorize the numbers in your area, learn the numbers for your area, and then you adapt how much money you can spend. You know, some people can spend more money on groceries because they don't have a car payment, and other people have to spend less because they have a car payment. You can't take the numbers. I've told Tara from the day we started this, I had another comment today. A woman said something about, you know, well, the numbers on how much to feed a family for this much is not right for nowadays, you know, type of thing. Why are you even thinking about these numbers? Do the best you can with the money you've got to spend. Watch your sale prices. Use these tips. The tips will work anywhere. It doesn't matter what the prices are. The tips will work anywhere. You buy on sale. If eggs are too expensive this week, you find recipes to use that don't call for eggs. You use common sense and just get your eyes off of the prices and do the best you can with what you have. Did that make sense?
Yep.
What? Oh, dear.
I'm just, this whole inflation thing, guys, prices have gone up. Yes. But guess what? The car lots are stuffed now. You know why? Because people went into debt. They can't afford their payments. And guess what? In a couple of months, I'm thinking probably the end of August, maybe September, car prices are going to be plummeting.
Mm-hmm.
We are waiting. We have been waiting for 3 years to buy a new car. And we are waiting. And I guarantee you, just a couple of months, by no later than October, but I really think the August, September, car prices are going to be going down. Just 3 months ago, you could hardly find a car in a car lot in our town. And there's a lot of them. I mean, there's got to be 10 car lots, probably at least 10 car lots, even in our little dinky town. Now, I noticed it just 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw it too.
They are filled with cars. They are totally filled with cars. So we waited and we waited. We keep taking our cars to mechanics, getting them fixed. We're waiting for the prices to drop because we're going to get a stinking good deal on a car in a few months. That it's the same exact thing. My grocery bill has not gone up at all. Why? Because when bacon goes on sale, that's what we eat for meat for dinner. We'll have more BLTs than we will a roast. Roast was $2.99 a pound last week. We got more roast than we do chicken or whatever. Chicken is 99 cents a pound. We will be eating chicken. You go with what's on sale. Margarine, according to this thing here, has gone up 22%, but then at the bottom, it says that it has gone up 2%. Okay, it doesn't matter which one it is. Margarine is still cheaper than butter. And if you can't afford butter, you eat margarine. Margarine is not going to kill you. What's going to kill you is eating an entire stick of margarine.
Or
Stop
worrying, the stress
eating
of worrying about
so
eating
much
margarine.
food.
Mm-hmm.
You're not fat because of the food you're eating. You're fat because of you're eating too much food. We had Mom. I was working on the video today. Was it a week's worth of meals that you sent me pictures of?
Oh, yeah.
Was that a full week?
Mm-hmm.
She sent me a week's worth of meals.
I think it was 2 weeks.
And we're going to be doing a video on what she exactly what she eats for 2 weeks worth of food. For a senior citizen living on Social Security, $80 a month for groceries, because nobody ever believes. And everybody's like, oh, you're just so awful. The reason why you're sick is because what you eat. Mom does not have diabetes. Yeah, she's got health problems, but it's not because she's fat and overweight.
Yeah, it's not related to the food.
But the majority of people who are having these problems is because you're just eating too much food. I am overweight because I eat when I'm stressed out, which is pretty much all the time. So I know that if I get diabetes, it's going to be my own darn fault for just eating too much food. But the thing is, it has nothing to do with the prices.
Well, I have been for at least 40 years, maybe a little bit more. I have lived on less than minimum wage up until 2 years ago. I've lived on less than minimum wage. And I've always, been able to buy groceries. And we've ate fine, even when I had kids at home, even when there was 4 of us at home. I've had to pay. At one point, when my husband and I started our business, I had to just pay $15 for 4 of us a week to eat.
Yep.
And I really haven't had a whole lot more money, lived off a whole lot more money than what most people, as a matter of fact, most of the time I've lived off less than what people that get minimum wage, I've lived off less money than that. And so for me to hear people that have regular jobs working to worry so much and become upset over it, you can do it. That's what I'm saying. I'm a perfect example of that. You can do it. It's not easy. You might have to sacrifice all your good food, but you've got to get your portions under control. You don't throw away leftovers. You eat all the food you buy. And these are the tips that we do all the time and try to show you guys. And that's how we do this. But what happens is so many people eat too much food. They throw away. And we've been saying this for years. And it wasn't just a few years ago, they came out with a study that proved it. We've been just saying it. 50% of the groceries most people buy, they throw out one way or the other. And we've talked about this on tons of videos. You can look it up on our YouTube channel and on our website and stuff. And that you're throwing out 50%. So you may have to be a little more careful with the food you are buying. These are the types of things you need to watch for and look at instead of just watching people are just going through the YouTube channels and on the internet scanning how much is so-and-so paying for this. If you see a YouTube thing that says, I can show you how to eat on groceries for $10 a week or something like that, everybody's going right to this. They see the $10. Stop looking at that stuff.
Well, CNN was all about fact checking that thing going around. They can't even fact check their own articles.
I was going to say, first of all, the person that reported it, didn't they check it? Didn't the editor? Don't they have people that edit this stuff?
Danielle Wiener Bronner, who wrote this article, couldn't even fact check her own article.
Yeah. She probably heard it from somebody off the internet or heard something,
And so, but people buy into this and then they have an excuse.
Yeah.
And I wanted to comment on this comment. Go ahead and send me, Mike, the first batch here. But go ahead and leave your comments in the description, guys. Listen, Diane Dime cookbooks, 25% off right now. They will help you beat grocery prices. If you don't know how to cook, get the cookbook, cook at home. My meals are still $5 to $8 for meals to cook for my family. I don't spend a lot. But I shall not be moved says, I can't give you the Bible verse, but gouging prices isn't pleasing to the Lord. There will be some reaping. Okay, but let's look at those Bible verses. The first one is Proverbs 28:8. Some people get rich by overcharging others, but their wealth will be given to those who are kind to the poor. Leviticus 25:14. When we make a sale or buy from our neighbor, you shall not wrong one another. Now, she says, price gouging isn't pleasing to the Lord. No, it's not. But it's not price gouging to raise your prices 5% because everybody's screaming inflation. That's not price gouging.
Especially on convenience items.
Yeah, Mike said especially on convenience items. That is not real food. It's your choice to be buying the soda. It's your choice to be buying the Lunchables. It's your choice to be buying the pre-packed potato chips. It's your choice to be buying the pre-cut fruits and vegetables, which all of those are the top sellers in the store. The top sellers.
Price gouging is when like food is hard to come by and you know it's hard to come by. So you're going to jack the prices up really hard and these people are starving and they have to buy it.
But it's not price gouging when food is hard to come by like it was in the 1800s in the California gold fields and you had to ship by wagon train food in and the prices were ridiculously expensive then. That's not price gouging. When someone has to pay extra because of all these things. I have to pay more now for the paper to be printed for my planner. I have to pay more now for the printing of our cookbooks, 25% off right now. But that Bible verse does not mean that I need to eat those expenses. And going up even 5-10% because everybody's screaming inflation is not price gouging. That's not price gouging at all.
It's something like when the Jews went into the temple for special celebrations and things, they had to buy the animals that they were going to sacrifice outside the temple. And what they were doing was they knew the people had no choice but to buy the animals there. And they were charging them outrageous prices that, was just ridiculous, foolish, and they needed to buy the sacrifice because they had no choice but to buy it there.
Yeah.
And I think that wasn't that when Jesus got he took the whip to the money changers because that's what they were doing. They were taking advantage of people that had no choice in what they were having to buy. We still are to the point where we have lots of choices. We have lots of methods that we can keep buying food without, not being able to eat still.
Okay, so we're going to give you some steps while Mike's sending me the comments. And did you already send them? Okay. While Mike's sending me the comments, we're going to give you some steps. But first of all, I want to say hi to Toby, who is Jenny's, maybe, son. He recently beat cancer and he's very frugal. You go.
Oh,
good
that
job.
Is so wonderful.
Hey to you.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching with your mom.
Really good. That's I was thinking this afternoon, we have so many amazing testimonies of people doing this stuff so well.
Good job.
It makes our day when we hear this stuff.
Job.
Yeah, good.
All right. So what are some tips while I'm getting these comments in? What are some tips here they are. Okay. What are some tips that you can do? So we're going to run through these real quick and I'm going to get to the question because it's the same. Mom said, well, what are you doing for the show tonight? I said, it's the same thing, a different day. Watch your ads. This week in my ads, they had grapes on sale. They had, I think it was hamburger on sale. What was the other thing? Cheerios are on sale this week. Mike and Jack will be happy. They've been out of Cheerios for a few months. Why? Because I ain't going to buy Cheerios unless they're on sale. They're on sale. And I'm even going to go tomorrow and identify as a senior citizen and get my senior discount also.
Oh, my word.
So they're going to be even cheaper.
You're going to go on Thursday to Albertsons. You can't handle Albertsons on a normal day. They said those little old men and women are actually really rough. That's what the
They're
cashiers
mean.
told me. They said Thursday is their worst day because they.
But anyway, so watch your ads. I only buy what's on sale for my meats and my veggies and stuff. Walmart is my cheap place here. We used to have Aldi. We don't have Aldi here. We don't have a Save-A-Lot here. We don't have a Shopper, Saver, or whatever places you guys have. We don't have any of those things. So Walmart, a lot of times, is my lowest price. But I always try to get the lowest price that I can. Next, stop throwing your food away. Stop it. Eat your leftovers. If you have leftovers that bad, then stop cooking so much food. Make less food. If people are still hungry, make a big bowl of popcorn. Stop buying all of the convenience foods. It is not convenient when you're killing yourself working. Start adding up how much time, how many hours you have to work to pay for this food. Do you make $20 an hour? That means you have to work 5 hours after taxes to pay for $100 worth of convenience foods. How many people spend $300-$400 a month at least on convenience foods? That doesn't even come, and drinks. That doesn't even include eating out. You just do not realize how much money you are spending on all that stuff. Then cut back. If you are overweight, you don't need to be eating so much food. Start eating less food. Sit down and eat 3 regular meals and stop snacking. I'm sorry, but all this snacking and stuff didn't really start happening until mom started working.
Yeah.
About 40 years ago. Mom would be home. Mom would fix 3 meals a day. I don't do it. And that's part of the problem. I don't fix 3 meals a day for my family. And they snack half the time.
People graze. They start grazing is what they do. If you don't sit down and have a meal 3 times a day, everybody's going to graze throughout the day. And not only do they just eat more and do that, but then they'll leave this package of cookies or this package of chips laying someplace opened, and the humidity gets to them, and then you have to throw out the food. You throw it out.
And stop throwing away food like that.
Yeah.
When I get stale chips, I put them in the oven and re-crisp them. Or I chop them up and use them for coating for my chicken or something like that. Find another way to use it.
Cookies you can crush up and use for a crust, a cookie crust
but
or something.
Stop
or
throwing it away.
Ice cream, yeah.
Stop it. All right, let's get to some questions here. What is a good page about learning about a budget? So Olympia, go to livingonadime.com. We have a search bar there. Just type in budget and we have all our budget forms and articles on budgeting. You will find all of it. Hello, Carol in hot and clammy England. Oh my, well, I'm glad I'm not there. This has been really nice here. We've been having a ton of rain and they have this, it's called Third Thursday here. They have this thing where it's a street fair, I guess is what it would be called. And I'm doing a fundraiser I'm doing a fundraiser. And so I'm going to be down there and I'm like, I hope it doesn't rain. I don't know that Wyoming has ever had this much rain.
Before I came
between
here,
the snow and the rain.
We had such a deluge before I headed out to drive here that my street was almost like a river flowing down. It was coming down so fast and so hard.
We are having to have 2 to 3 people mow every day just to try and keep on top of our yard. We can't do it. We don't have a riding lawnmower. We just have a push mower. The boys are real happy about that. But, Colleen says, great deals on dairy, non-dairy vegetables, meat in clearance bins last week. I used savings to give my daughter some extra items for her 18th birthday. See? Very good. There you go. Nancy, I would assume it's going up for those who do not shop specials. Yes, it is. Lettuce and potatoes have gone up, but I still buy them for now. Yes. That's the thing. It's still cheaper for me to buy a $1.98 head of lettuce than to buy a bagged salad. Those bagged salads are sold out almost every single time I go to the grocery store. It's ridiculous.
But I read someplace the other day, they said those are kind of the most dangerous things for getting E. coli and all those types of things. So be careful, with them.
Vicky says, if it bleeds, it leads. Media is always making things out to be a lot worse than it really is. It is. When I was doing all the prepping videos, and we were doing all the clickbait titles. And then I would say, food shortages are coming. Let's see, when was it? September 2022. Remember, we were all supposed to starve to death last fall. And I kept saying, there is absolutely no sign that we are all going to starve to death. There's none. But oh no, everyone's going to starve to death. And they got mad at me for saying we weren't going to starve to death. Did we starve? No. We're all still here.
Check your facts. And one way to check them too, don't just check what you want to hear or that you think you want them to agree with. I always check both sides, of what's going on at the time. And I don't just do the first 10 pages or 10 things. When you Google something, you come up with a list of places you can go to look. I don't hit just that first page. I can hit a second and even a third page, researching this stuff and seeing what both sides are saying. If they say that red dye is bad for you, don't just look at the articles that's going to push what you feel is, bad. Look at the other side of the coin too. Do thorough research, just not what goes along with what you want to say.
Yeah. Candy and Debbie are both excited about our solution for cracked and dry feet. It actually works really, really good.
We've had a lot of people
Mike,
have
put the link in there for them to get that if you don't mind, please. The cracked heels and feet that we featured in the newsletter yesterday. If you guys aren't signed up for our newsletter, go to livingonadime.com and sign up for our newsletter. It'll pop up. We have a pop-up. Janet, did I miss the kitchen reveal? I didn't. We haven't got that far yet. So we did the pantry first. So I revealed the pantry, did 2 videos on that. I was hoping Friday to get the kitchen reveal done, but the kitchen's still not done.
No, it's not.
So I can't reveal what is not done yet. So I'm trying to get it done. I have to put polyurethane on the molding for the window, and I'm going to do that tomorrow. So it'll probably be next week will be the kitchen reveal.
On the newsletter, you guys might want to sign up on the newsletter, because if something ever happens,
if they kick us off
YouTube, that would be the main way that you could find out where we're going or what's happening with this.
Yeah. Connie says, we're so right. This has been happening for years. All we did was adapt and cut back.
Yeah,
exactly. This is not anything
that's
new.
what I said. I'm 71, almost 72.
You're not going through anything desperate. Mm-mm. This is not the Depression. This isn't even close to the Depression.
No.
And let me tell you, that was bad. This is not bad.
Well, I always said it was so frustrating because when my husband left, I had so little money. I would say the kids and I were going through like what they went through during the Depression. The problem was nobody else around us was going through the same thing. And that was really hard when we were the only ones, that was having to live like that. So.
Oh, Tina says, I lived in Wyoming for 58 years and they have not had this much rain. Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, everybody's saying this is really
crazy. As a matter of fact, we finally got to the point where we had to turn on our whole house fan.
Yeah.
Or the not whole house fan, the air conditioner fan, just because my basement was starting to smell musty, and I'm like, this is not good. So we've had to turn on our house fan to get air circulating, to get it to dry out because it's so wet.
And that's a tip a house inspector gave us. He said people don't realize they don't run the air conditioning or the heat or something. If you have rainy days like this, you need to run that fan just once a week or, a couple times depending, just to keep the mold from going. It's cheaper to run that fan with the air conditioner than it is to pay to have that molding taken care of.
Susan says people just don't want to adjust. They are spoiled. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
You're just spoiled. It really does. Colleen's Life says she made our marshmallow brownies for graduation at church and they were all gone. That I think that's the Rocky Road brownies, possibly in Dining Volume 2. I'm not sure if that's the same one she's thinking of, but that's really good. 25% off right now, guys. Elaine says, got my grocery bill down from 180 down to 150 a week for 6 people. That's
very good. Really good. Yeah, that's super good.
I say about $100 per person per week, or per month. $100 per person per month. you know, and I think that's giving luxury items with potato chips and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So Tina says, I just bought flour at Walmart here in Casper. Hello, fellow Wyomingites.
Yes.
For 50 cents for a 5-pound bag. Wow.
Wow,
That's
yeah.
great. Well, and yeah, look for deals. So today I stopped by the feed store and feed and seed store to get the blood meal to put out in my garden so the deer won't eat all of my plants. And I called a couple weeks ago and she said it was $50 a bag for a 50-pound bag. And I was like, okay. So I went down to go get a 50-pound bag for $50 because at Home Depot, it's $10 for 3 pounds.
Mm.
So it's $3 a pound, $3.33 a pound instead of $1 a pound. Well, I get there and the mice had eaten a hole in the bag. Zah. And I said, I need to get some blood meal. How much is it? And they were like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So, oh, maybe $10 a bag. I said, oh, I don't think that's going to be enough. Do you have more? He said, yeah, we do. So I got 3 pounds.
3 pounds?
Or 3 bags for less than, so for not quite, slightly over the price of 1 bag. Or half of the price of 1 bag. So I paid $30 for almost 150 pounds versus $50 for just 50 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
There was just a little bit missing, not even a pound's worth probably. So what did I do? I stocked up. I got blood meal till I'm dead. Well, but I don't have to worry about the deer eating my stuff now.
And that's another tip I was going to give you guys earlier. And that is, if the price of flour's gone up, excuse me, don't panic. I've got enough flour in my pantry that I can go for a year until the prices maybe go down again. So when we talk about prepping things, that's part of the reason we say keep a stockpile, is because you can, if the prices go up, you can just ride it out until they maybe will go down.
All right, next question. Let me see here. Okay, hello, Connie, our neighbor in South Dakota. Allison says she made BLT salad on the website. Yes, been making a lot of that. Very good. Carol, prioritizing is required, not being lazy and moaning about food inflation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Allison, she made peanut butter cookies and everybody loved them. That's in volume 1, the red one. Thank you. Dine at Frugal with Danny. I just had a baby and we got a few meal delivery vouchers from friends and family. Whilst we're very grateful for them, the price is just not worth it. It also doesn't taste as good. I know. It's just crazy. It's just not worth it. Jessica, I've lost 35 pounds from stop eating out and not drinking. I still eat what I want and make it myself and eat less. My grocery bill for 7 is going down, not up.
Very good.
Very
See,
good.
we have more. We just keep getting more success stories here.
Clarice says prices in Middle Tennessee are outrageous. Some weeks sales are great, but overall food is insane. Yeah, but you just said some weeks sales are great. Stock up on those weeks.
Stock up, yeah. And then you don't buy, like I didn't buy anything.
I don't buy meat when it's not on sale.
I say $20 a week is what I spend, but I didn't even go to the grocery store to get, because they didn't have anything on sale.
Diana from Rochester said she made the volume 1 peanut butter cookies with chocolate chips. Oh, that would be delicious today. I had never thought about that. That would be just like, that would be so good. That would be just like a Reese's. Mm-hmm. Diane says, hello from Wisconsin. I'm listening while my husband is fishing. You go.
That's good.
Kimberly, I will try not to yell. I'll talk quietly.
I always thought, I think I should marry a man that likes to fish, because I would love to be able to go outside, and while he's fishing, I would lay in a lounger chair and read my books or sew. And he would be over doing his thing and I could be doing my thing. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Well, we can set you up on the corner of Walmart with a sign.
I think that would be so cool to marry a guy that liked fishing. And I just quietly sit there and read my book.
I think we should. Kimberly, a lot of times it's the people in the middle that have worse because minimum wage goes up. Our wages don't go up the same percentage that the minimum wage does. Minimum wage is ridiculous anyway. There's no reason for $15 minimum wage. And excuse me, but if you expect Walmart to pay you $15, Walmart prices are going to go up. You're not earning any extra money.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense.
And part of what I was talking about when I say they say to do that, they don't realize not only is it hurting themselves, but it's going to hurt other people. That's the type of wage I was talking about, the little bit higher wages that aren't going to go up. Is it catchy? Our coffee?
I guess.
And so that's what I was talking about, you know. Michael's throwing cough drops at us. I don't know why. I just got a tickle in my throat. I'm fine.
Alex says minimum wage in Connecticut is $15. No, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. South Loop River Homestead says egg prices dropping because the bird flu is over now. I know. I know. It's just, it would be. You just had to wait a couple of months.
Yeah,
it was like 4 months. It wasn't a big deal. I even said that in my video. Just wait. It takes about 4 months for chickens to get big enough to start laying eggs again.
And do things like it said in that article. I don't believe the article at all now, but it said ice cream was going up and what you do, but milk was going down. So what you do is like we have fudgesicles in the book. So you take the milk that's cheaper and the powdered pudding mix and you mix it together and make fudgesicles. And so you do something like that and don't buy the ice cream that's more expensive, you know.
Diane says she loves us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Young people think Starbucks is a way of life. It's not young people. It's their parents too.
Yeah.
Where do you think they learned it?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I can't say anything. My kids go to the convenience store all the time. They use their own money, but
it's the same way with cell phones. Everybody says the kids are on their cell phones, but I've been to these group meetings where it's been a whole bunch of adults and young people both, and the adults are sitting there. The kids are out playing and goofing off, but the adults would be sitting there on their cell phones. So I was really shocked about that.
She said, make a pot of coffee. I just turned 70 in May. My generation was brought up differently. We are amazing. Thank you.
Thanks.
Tell my husband and kids that. So
Tell your husband and kids.
Lori, bottle of aspirin was $12 today. No kidding. 300 tablets. So she bought the generic. Yeah, I have not bought a name brand medicine like
years.
For years.
Yeah.
Ever, I don't think. Really, since I've been an adult. Kimberly, when I was growing up after church, we'd go to grandparents, have ham or roast or chicken. We would pack a picnic and go to the park. I never go eat out until I was a teenager and got a job at McDonald's. Yep. Francis, I just wanted to tell you that I made the shepherd's pie. I'm eating the last piece tonight. Oh, yum.
That's so good.
That sounds good. I haven't made that forever.
I haven't either.
Beth, she forgot tonight was live. Hello.
Hi, Beth.
Lisa, just always look through your grocery ads and only get the meat on sale. If it's great, stock up on your meats. Also, if you can use coupons, digital coupons, you save even more. Yeah. Thanks for always letting everyone know what's going on and all you do to help everyone out. Thank you. I really look forward to your shows. Thank you. Listen, if you just cut out the convenience foods, the meat and the sodas and all the drinks, your grocery bill would drop by 70. Not cut out the meats, but I mean cut out the meats that not bought on. If you only bought your meat on sale, cut out the convenience foods and cut out the drinks, I bet you most people's grocery bills would drop 75%.
Oh yeah, because we've done studies on Tara and I have done the figuring on this, and most people spend at least 1/3 of their grocery bill is for drinks. If you think of sugar and cream that go in the coffee and the coffee itself, you know, and the juices and all those types of things. I was watching you were talking about wanting to do people's, not tonight, but before you talked about wanting to do videotape of people's shopping carts when they've had the food in there. I got behind a couple at Walmart and yesterday, and I was so appalled because they had, he grabbed up about 8 candy bars from the stand right there. And he had that in his hand was the first thing. There was 2, and because of their age, and what they had in their cart, I kind of assumed it was probably somebody about my age, you know, that type of thing. Just the couple was all they were buying groceries for. And they had 4 bags of chips. They had 2 of the convenient pudding container things. They had, what else? They had a whole the whole thing was almost all, oh, they had the pop. They had a bunch of pop in there, you know. And I'm looking, I'm thinking, they had no food. It was all, and you could tell it wasn't that they were buying for the grandkids coming. You know, if my grandkids are coming, I'm buying 20 candy bars.
Comment, guys, and tell me if I should go to the Walmart and pay people $20 to film their grocery baskets. Tell me if you want to see that.
I was so shocked. Now, and the other thing is, they were extremely overweight. Very, very overweight.
I have no sympathy. I am overweight myself. I'm right there with them. But I know I'm not in denial. I know it's because I eat too much darn tootin' food. I just have to stop eating so much. Because when I do, I lose weight.
And I just kept watching all this. Oh, they had donuts. They had a bunch of donuts and that type of thing. And so,
everybody thinks I should do that.
Oh, they would have been a perfect one. I kept there thinking, oh, Tara would love to videotape these people.
How much, guys, comment and tell me how much I should give them. How much should I give them to film their carts?
I'm frugal. I would say $10. I'm frugal. Because why? What is it costing them anything for you to videotape it? I would start low. What I do is I start low. And if you get a whole bunch of no's, then you can go up to $20. Doesn't that make sense? Don't you guys think that makes sense?
Couple say $10. One says 25. Okay, put it in there while I read the next question. I'm curious.
You guys are frugal like I am. Because you can always go up.
Patricia made the shepherd's pie. What is it with you guys and shepherd's pie? Is it all raining or something like it is here? That sounds really good with all the rain we've been having. Oh, man, we had a really bad rain. As a matter of fact, the boys are out at some friends' house, and I don't know if they can get home.
Yeah, it was bad out in my direction.
They were flooded. The last rain we had, that family was flooded the last rain we had. So I don't know if the boys can get home.
When I went to church on Sunday, they had signs, water on road, caution. And it was actually running across the road. I went in.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I just went through it because it was only about an inch.
Sorry.
And so I knew I was okay, but.
Jennifer, we love you, Jennifer.
Oh, what Jennifer
Stop
say?
buying
Jennifer.
when you can't afford it. Crazy talk.
Oh, Jennifer.
I feel so stupid, but it's like, people, use your brain.
Jennifer's been with us for 100 years, and we had a meetup one time in Colorado, and we got to meet Jennifer back then, and she cracks me up all the time when she does stuff.
Mama Bear says, I did ban buying eggs when they were ridiculously priced. I just didn't buy them.
Yeah,
I know. She says now they're 18 count for 99 cents. I know.
Yeah.
So guess what we're eating now?
Eggs.
Girl's so happy. Neighbor boy 15 expects $20 an hour to help. I know.
Yeah.
What happened to getting paid for the job? Yeah. He wants to get paid for many adults, more than many adults. Well, you know what, though? Good for him. And you might say, oh, but here's the problem. He is expecting to get paid for his work. If he's a hard worker and he gets in there and gets it done well, if he does that, good for him. He's not being a victim saying, well, I just can't find any work anywhere. He's not letting people run all over him. I'm sorry, but I actually think that's a really good thing because it shows he's got initiative. It shows that he's got drive.
But we understand what you're saying.
I know what you're saying.
I used to babysit for 50 cents an hour, you know. So expect that and you don't want to do the work. Yeah.
Now if he expects that and he doesn't do the work and doesn't do a good job, no way, Jose.
Yeah, or even go above. You know, you can go a little bit above the Call of Duty on getting paid that much.
My kids get paid a very good wage for packing books. No taxes, nothing. They get paid a very good wage, but they get in there, they get it done, and they don't dink around.
They work hard and fast, and they.
Now, if they were dinking around, I wouldn't pay them that much.
Even when you ask them to do something a little bit extra and everything, they don't gripe or moan or complain. They do it, and so
JG says, I'm noticing that grocery stores are having better sales, and Walmart is no longer such a good deal. Oh yeah. Walmart's only a good deal in my town, but when I lived in Colorado, I never bought groceries
I never
at
bought
Walmart.
any groceries at Walmart.
Not never, but I very rarely. There was one point when we were at court, when Mike's parents took us to court, and our niece came to live with us, that it was extremely stressful. So I did have groceries delivered for a while, but I didn't buy groceries on a regular basis at Walmart because it just wasn't a good deal.
When I was in Kansas, I never used Walmart for my groceries. I used Aldi, and then I would do the sales at my Kroger store. So.
All right. Cheryl says butter is outrageous here in Tucson, around $6 a pound. Yeah, I just wouldn't buy butter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I love butter, but I wouldn't buy it if that's what it was.
What I had to do when I didn't have the money to buy butter was I found a brand that would taste good to me, because they're not all alike. And I used Imperial margarine for a while, even when I was young, my mom always bought butter because we got it at the commissary, and it was cheaper to buy the butter than the margarine at the commissary. So I got used to the taste of butter. And so what I would do if I'd go to somebody's house and they served margarine, which happened a lot because most people didn't buy butter when I was growing up. It was just too expensive. And so when I'd go to their house, like if I was having pancakes, I didn't put the margarine on my pancakes because the syrup covered up the taste. Or if I had a piece of toast, I wouldn't put the the margarine on my toast at their house. I would just put jelly on there. So, if it's getting too high, you can do things like that because the butter does taste good. But in some cases, like with the pancakes, and I couldn't really taste the butter by the time I put the syrup on. So you pick and choose and do things like that too.
Well, like now I'm using bacon grease for almost everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I use it to make my pancakes, to make my eggs, to grease my bread pans. I use it I put it in my potato salad. I put it in, what else did I use it for the other day? Like to fry potatoes. I use bacon grease for all of that. So I don't even buy butter for stuff like that.
And even like I think we have a recipe for kettle corn in dining. And I make kettle corn a lot because you don't even have to put butter on there. Mm-hmm. You just put the oil and a couple tablespoons of sugar and the popcorn, and you put no butter on it. And so that's what I'm talking about, adapting, using recipes.
And look for other places. Grandma So Happy says Quick Trip there has butter for $2.99 a pound. Okay, so I would go to the convenience store to buy my butter instead of going to the grocery store.
Yeah, you do that too.
Mm-hmm. Happy Homemaker, I had fun shopping today. Went through the flyers on Flip app and used the points for the stores, reducing costs even more. Very good. Mm-hmm. She spent $130 for a family of 6 this week. Do not tell me you can't do it, people.
Good. You did good.
We have our viewers proving us right every single time.
I know. Don't just take our word. Our viewers say this all the time, and they live all over the country, all over the world, and they're doing this in a lot of different places. So
Andy says my chickens are laying like crazy, so we're doing breakfast for dinner twice a week. Yeah. Mm. The sad part for me is me and Jack are the only one who eat eggs in our family. But that still reduces a lot. So Dixie Girl says, I drive a 2005 Yukon with 140,000 miles that I've had for years and still drives great. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you get rid of it?
Yeah.
Cole says, person has to shop around the flyers, and when there is a good deal, stock up on the items. Yes. And Happy Homemaker said margarine was $1 today, 10 for $1. Yep. Mm. Happy Homemaker also said, yep, shopping flyers. Mike, did you get my message? Next batch, please. The Happy Homemaker, yep, shopping flyers and making meals around that is the best thing. Yes. Mm-hmm. I do not just go buy what I want to eat at the grocery store. I shop to refill my pantry.
Yeah. When we don't menu plan, we look and see what's going to be on sale that week, and we kind of do our meals around that a little bit.
She says, I eliminated buying snacks and have been baking now instead. Family of 630. Oh, she's 130. Yep. Mm-hmm. I know. Thank you. Common sense is not common, says E. Weisbaum. This disappeared at least 3 generations ago. No, you know when it disappeared? When mom started working.
Yeah.
That's when it disappeared.
Yeah, I was going to say in the 60s is when it started.
Because moms were not home raising their children, teaching them this stuff. And I'm sorry, you working moms, I know you're just going to get your panties all in a wad, but just go take a laxative or something. But I'm sorry. That is the problem.
Well, no.
I know some people have to. I'm not saying, but the majority of women who are married do not have to work. They choose to work because their lifestyle is just so high, because they have car payments, they have student loans, they have credit card debt.
Yeah. But, you know, I had to work, but I still was able to adjust that job to where I could
Stay home
most of the time.
Yep.
Oh, well, okay, this doesn't go here totally, but the cashier at Walmart, I learned so much now when I go to Walmart here. It's very interesting. It's fun going to the store in a small town because the cashiers visit. You have to have patience.
I have to be careful because they all know me now.
Yeah, you have to have patience because they love visiting. If Joe Blow, they haven't seen them for a couple of weeks, the cashiers, they will visit and find out all about the family and what's been going on. And that's what happened to me yesterday. But I was listening. It's fun listening to some of this stuff. The cashier, she was just talking. Now, she's working at Walmart, which isn't a terribly high paying job. And she was talking about how, what was it? She was going to have to hire somebody to do her yard because she was working and didn't have time. And she was going through this list of stuff.
So let me get this straight. You're going to hire someone for $20 an hour to mow your yard while you're working at Walmart for $15 an hour.
Exactly. And the thing she was saying she was going to do because she was working and she didn't have time to do this stuff.
How do you not have time? She's only working 40 hours a week.
Well, they had a farm too, I think.
Oh.
And so she was helping her husband. She was making lunches for all the workers that were harvesting or whatever they're doing now and stuff like that. And she was having to drive out. See, I got her whole life
for her to stay home than work at Walmart.
Look what I've just been telling you. I haven't told you half of what she was talking about. This is the whole time I was waiting in line with the lady in front of me. I learned all this stuff about this cashier. She fixes the lunch for all these guys, and she has trouble because she has to figure out how to keep it warm for them to take out there for lunch, and then she has to drive an hour out there and then an hour back, and then she's got to go back.
She not lost her mind.
Well, that's what she was saying. She said, "I'm going insane with this." And they had a wheat farm, but we're going to have to harvest the wheat because we're going to sell the farm. The other gal said, "Well, why are you harvesting the wheat?" Well, we can't let 100 acres of wheat just go to nothing. So I got a whole shebang standing in the line at Walmart. But you know, the point is, the thing she was listing, I thought it would have been easier on her all the way around, the stress, the money, and everything, if she hadn't stayed home. People, you've got to
and I
calculate
get it,
this out. There's sometimes you have to. I understand.
Like for her case, maybe she's working for the insurance or something like that, because I could see in that case, then it might be cheaper for her to work for Walmart and get medical insurance or something. So we know there are extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, we understand that.
But
make sure you figured your stuff all out, that you're not losing money we've had people, when we've told them this, they sat down after the video and they would take and figure out everything that we told them to figure out. And they said they found out they were making $1 an hour. And it wasn't worth the stress to do that. So
Jenny says her son Toby is smiling ear to ear. Glad we made your day.
I love the name Toby because that's my dad's name.
Yep.
That's my dad's name. So I love that. You don't hear it too often, but
not now.
And I love it.
Tracy, Jill. Oh, okay, Tracy, I did see your comments on YouTube. I just haven't had a chance to go look at the books yet. It's not a particular author. It's what do you know what the name of those books that you got? It's a publishing company.
I thought I answered her maybe it was somebody else's. Go to anniesfiction.com. It's Annie's then fiction has a capital F and then .com. And you'll find the website and it'll explain in there what these books are. It's like a publishing company, and they had several different series of books. One's the Amish Inn. There's another one about Cardington Hall, the mysteries of Cardington Hall. And each set is written by different authors. And within the series, different authors write each book. Like one series has like 20 books to it, and each one is written by different authors. But what they do is they use the same main character and characters in the book. It's really different. I've never seen anything like this before, and I really do like them. So go to anniesfiction.com. It's
Annie,
one word.
we will take an affiliate commission for that, please. Thank you. Okay, so somebody said that in the article they're talking about 2 different time frames. No, they're not. It says here from April to May, and then down here it also says from April to May. So they're talking about the same time frame on the discrepancies on their percentages. Because I went and looked at that. Yeah, it's the same time frame. Okay. Let's see. Regina says she's so blessed that her mom and dad taught her how to shop. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Happy Homemaker said bacon and drumsticks was on sale this week. That's what I bought. Yep. Country Fowl. Oh, she likes my shirt. Thank you.
It is a pretty color and matches your glasses.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Color coordinating.
Totally.
I just threw it on just so I didn't have my paint shirt on.
Yeah,
that I've been living in for the last 3 months.
Bottom half here is kind of scary when I look down. It's like, of course, mine doesn't look a whole lot better.
I ruined my favorite pajamas yesterday because I got paint on them. I was just going to do a touch up and somehow I got paint on them. So I ruined my favorite pajamas now.
My daughter.
This kitchen remodel is getting on my nerves.
Did you tell him what David sent you the picture of with the Lego?
My brother said he found a Lego epoxied countertop that was all Legos. He said I should put that on there.
Yeah, the whole counter was out of Legos and they'd epoxied on top of it.
They would expand when it gets humid.
They would expand the lake. Mike says they'd expand when it got humid.
They wouldn't expand.
Yes, I know. I think actually, so the other half cracked now on the other side.
Oh no.
I think what it is the wood filler they used. I think it's the wood filler.
Oh, when they put the boards together.
And the former owner came over yesterday because he wanted some rhubarb. So I told him he could have some rhubarb. And he had where the studio is now was his woodworking shop. This was all woodworking. And I said, all right, Gus, I'll trade you rhubarb for advice. And he actually came up with a really, really good idea for the bar. He said to put, after he thought about it for a while, it took him a while to think about it, but he said to put a 2x4 underneath the center, tie it into the cabinets, and then screw both sides of the butcher block into the 2x4.
That's a really good idea.
Now, I'm 100% sure that will fix the island without tearing the entire island apart. But when I went and looked in the corner where the microwave is and it's cracked, the seam is behind the cabinet. So they would have to take that entire piece off, put that on, although I don't know what they're going to tie it into because all the cabinets are in. How would they tie it in? So I don't know what they're going to do for under the microwave.
Yeah.
Because I don't think putting in dowels is going to be enough. I think it has to have the support underneath. And a couple of people said that what they should have done is put a whole piece of plywood underneath and then tied it into the plywood. But the problem is we can't do that now unless we want to redo all the countertops because then they're going to be all different sizes.
Yeah.
Could we unscrew the cabinet and slide the cabinet out from underneath it and then get under there and fix it?
Where would it tie into though? Where would the 2x4 tie into though?
Maybe the wall.
Well, I didn't know if they'd be able to tie into the wall. I mean, it'd be a really, really big chance that they could hit a stud on each side.
You could sell the house.
Might be easier. Rebecca says, one thing that is encouraging during all this chaos, at least in my community, us that are people reaching out to local producers, don't overlook your community for backyard eggs and veggies. Yeah, but you know what? These farmers, growing your own eggs is expensive, and they want like $5 a dozen. I'm sorry. There's no way.
And I don't blame them because they have to pay for feed and all that kind of stuff too. So it can get kind of
Tracy, I love Janet Oak. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or Jeanette Oak. Let's see. Karen, just buy what's on sale. Yeah, I know.
It's very simple.
It's actually very simple, but people just have to make it.
And use your
way
leftovers.
harder.
I'm just totally amazed at how many people do not cut back on portions and don't use their leftovers too.
Firefly. Price gouging is like after Joplin tornadoes. Case of water Walgreens was $10. A case of $2.99. Okay, so possibly that was price gouging. A lot of people just jump to the conclusions that these things are price gouging. In that case, Joplin, Missouri was wiped off the face of the earth, or at least part of it was. Not all of it. Part of Joplin, Missouri was wiped off the face of the earth. Were they able to actually get those supplies in? Because maybe there was actually a true demand for that and they could not get the supply. That's not price gouging.
Yeah.
That's not price gouging. That's prices keeping up with the demand and what's happening. Now, if they could get water in, then yeah, that would be price gouging. It just depends on the circumstances. But everybody is so quick to jump. Oh, these corporations, they're just, yeah, but these corporations are in it to make money. They're not in it for your just health and well-being. So you can't blame them for wanting to make money and earn, now I think it's wrong if the CEO of a corporation got $45 million in bonuses and then they're laying off people in their business. I don't think that's right by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm just saying, don't always just jump to the conclusion that people are price gouging or that kind of thing, because there might be a legitimate reason for those prices. So, because we got a lot of flack when we had to raise the price of our books. But I'm sorry, I'm not in business to give away free cookbooks. I do all the time.
It's not like she's, charging an exorbitant amount for a cookbook, for that type of thing. She just went up enough to cover the extra cost on it.
Thrive on the journey. Cooking at home from scratch saves so much money. To save even more, grow some of your own veggies, even if it's herbs. Plant a cucumber plant and cherry tomato plant. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Last year I was about ready to choke on cherry tomatoes.
Yes.
I love cherry tomatoes.
She had bowls.
I had them cleared to December.
Bowls, I know.
We got our first freeze in October and I cleared everything and I had them in the garage in boxes ripening until December. I did.
Well, actually, you and I, do the boys eat cherry tomatoes?
Me and Mom are the only one who eats them. I was giving them to any friend who would
yeah, well, you're giving them away.
They were worse than zucchini. Kelly wants to know, how did you come up with my name? She loves it, but she hasn't heard it before.
My husband was the one that named her. He liked the name Tara, T-A-R-A, and he added the W in there to make it Tara.
Tara, not Tara.
Yeah, that's Tara. And hers is Tara, because Dad always pronounced it. Didn't he say Tara?
My dad was the only one who technically pronounced it right.
Yeah, he would say Tara.
Yeah,
is how he called her.
Thrive on a Journey. Our books are great. She has a gluten-free one, which is the green one right there at the end. Yes, gluten-free, dairy-free. That's what I am. And so I wrote it and we sell it like hotcakes. And by the way, whoever's sharing our books on social media, thank you guys. We can tell when people are sharing them. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Plan with Jen. I've made my own grape juice with about 10 grapes to 1 quart. Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear grapes grow really good here. I should get some grapes and try it. I've heard grapes grow really good. I would like to try grapes here. Lisa, let's see. Looking through your grocery store ads and only getting your meat on sale. Yep. That's pretty much what I do. Why don't you spend more on food? Susan wants to know.
I don't need any more. I've got more than plenty. My pantry's stocked. Everything's stocked. I eat everything I want. As a matter of fact, it wouldn't hurt if I lost a little bit of weight. I'm not overweight. I just went to the doctor yesterday and I'm not overweight for my age and everything.
Oh, I forgot to ask. Are you dying?
No.
Oh, okay.
Little late. It's like
Sorry.
A couple of days later, you're asking me
I
if
had
I'm
things going
dying. I
on.
could tell you were real concerned about me.
I know Jesus.
I do.
Okay, I'm not
so
worried
you're
about
not
it.
worried about it.
It's just between now and when you meet Jesus that I got to deal with it. Connie, chicken has been so cheap in my area. I've eaten so much chicken, I will grow feathers and fly. Oh my goodness.
I know.
I feel like if I have to eat another piece of chicken, I'm going to choke. Mike only likes chicken.
Yeah, she doesn't get to have ham and stuff too
I-
much. Other things.
I fixed ham and sausage a little bit more lately because I'm just like, I cannot eat another piece of chicken. But I will tell you, did you guys see yesterday's video with fish tacos? I did not express in that video my adoration enough for the fish tacos. They were really, really good.
Yeah, you didn't. You said they were good.
I
but you
said,
didn't
oh,
have-
they're good. But they were actually really, really good. I feel
Really?
bad now.
What did they have in them?
So I made my own fish tacos at home, and they were even better.
What
my
do you put
goodness.
in them?
So let's see. How did I do that? Okay, so you marinate the fish in oil, a little bit of cumin, chili powder, garlic, and salt. Okay, so you make that little stuff and you put it on your fish and let it sit for a few minutes. Then you make a sauce, and it had mayonnaise. Oh, hold on. Let me see. I've never had fish tacos before. And I was totally shocked. Well, then I found 2 recipes and I combined them. And oh my goodness, it was really good. Let's see. It had hello, friend.
Oh, is it Kimmy? Hi, Kimmy.
My friend who's just nailing it on the thumbnails. Oh my goodness,
I
got
showed
it.
this to Tara. I have a mug with a snowman and has a little lid that goes on it. And you lift the lid up and it says, hello, friend. And I said, I need you. She needs to send a picture of this to Kimmy.
Okay, so in the sauce, I put cilantro, lime juice, mayonnaise. I think it was these two it was these two I combined. Okay. Mayonnaise, cilantro, lime juice, and whoops, hold on. Where'd it go? Fish, let's see. Avocado. I had avocado. Remember all my 25 avocados? I had guacamole frozen and a little bit of chili powder. And then I put that as the sauce.
Then do you put like lettuce and tomato
And
on?
then lettuce and tomato.
Do you
and
put cheese?
If you want cheese, yeah. Just like tacos.
You know what drove
It
me
was
crazy in that
really
video?
good.
I haven't had a homemade tamale for 100 years, and you were chomping on that thing.
They were all mine.
Oh, it looks so good, and I love homemade tamales. Do they have them
You
here in
can
town?
order them, yeah.
Did you say they? I couldn't understand.
Yeah, you can order them.
You can get them here.
I have in my phone. I have Tamale Man.
Oh, well, we may have to have them one
It's
day.
that guy that used to be on the corner of 5th and Main.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yum.
all right. Yes, everybody's agreeing, Kimmy. You are nailing your videos. Unlike me, we won't go there right now. This is going to be our last video, just in case everyone's wondering. Oh, Wanda's grandson is 2 years old today. Happy birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Lisa Marie, it's all about priorities. Yep, it definitely is. Karen, it's all about supply and demand. Exactly. A lot of people jump to price gouging, but it does have to do with, now I'm not saying people don't price gouge. I know people price gouge, and I totally get that. And that is totally wrong. But it's not always price gouging for some of these things. And so you need to just look at that. That's why we preach so much on having your own stockpile. Kimmy preaches about this too. If you have a stockpile, you don't have to worry about paying these ridiculous prices. When eggs happened, I didn't have to worry about it because I had other things I could substitute. I had other things I could make.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we do it. Connie says we are getting an Aldi in my area and the one in the next town over.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, that'll be nice.
That'll be
I love Dolly.
Becca says no food goes to waste in my house. Yep. If we don't eat it, it goes to the dogs. Very good. Yep. Or chickens. Yep. Beth, now that I've moved, I only have Food Lion to shop at. But she's able to get meat at marked down prices. Very good.
She's making it work. See, you can make it work.
Kimberly. As a curiosity, I looked at Grubhub in a delivery from Burger King to my house, $8.99 fee. That's on top of buying the food, which is probably the same price you'd have to tip the driver. Oh my goodness. I know someone who does DoorDash. Absolutely astonishing what people will pay for this. Ridiculous. As a matter of fact, I know someone, the people at their work DoorDash, I am not exaggerating.
Oh, wait till you hear
literally
this.
Across the street.
Not even a big street. Not even a big street.
The restaurant is across the street. Like most people's front yards. You would walk a normal average household's front yard. And they said, well, but it's only $1. I know, but how many times do you do that and you can't walk over and just pick it up on your break?
Yeah, it's a lot of young guys too. It's like you can't walk all the way over there to get.
Beth says she just finished up cooking up a bunch of meat and put it all in the freezer. Good job.
Very good. That makes things so easy when you do that.
Kathy, we are growing our own lettuce. I am too. Yes, I've been munching on it here and there. Tom says portions. Yeah, you're fat because you eat too much.
Yeah,
I'm right there
Portion
with you.
control.
I know that. Plan with Jen. I've made my. Some of these got. I think these got repeated. Let's see. Can you send me the next batch, Mike?
Yeah.
Kimberly says make your own convenience foods. Yep. Kelly says leftover meat at our house. Quesadillas. Right here, guys. Yep. Volume 1, 25% off right now. Our cookbooks. If you want to know how to save money by eating at home and knowing how to cook easy recipes.
We even have an index in there on leftovers. If you have leftover, say, fill in the blank, blueberries, leftover meat of some sort, or cornbread, leftover cornbread, what do you do with it? We have an index where you can look up cornbread, and then it'll tell you recipes in the book that you can make with it.
Deanna says Sunday she made the lemon chicken out of volume 2. And her husband said it was amazing. Thank you. Yes. Plan with Jen says stale chips in the dehydrator, crisp them right up, or the air fryer. Oh, guess what I discovered with the air fryer this week?
That's right. She was so excited. She called me. She was just bouncing off the walls. Wait till you hear what it is.
I cannot express
what she gets excited over. It's kind of funny what you get excited over now that I think about it. Not that I'm laughing at you. I'm sorry.
I'm having a moment. I'm trying to share with the world, and my mother's laughing at me.
And I shouldn't be laughing at you. Wait till you guys hear this.
I have been on my own. How old am I? 50? I have been on my own for 31 years. 31 years. I have been trying to find
she has
a toaster that toasts.
Every 6 months or so, I hear about the new one she's getting, and it bombs out.
Let's see.
You guys have probably heard about her and her toaster if you've been with us.
2003. My family will attest that I went through 10 toasters. Trying to find a toaster that wasn't raw on one side and toasty on the other side. I was too lazy to go downstairs because we're getting everything moved up from downstairs now into the kitchen. And I was too lazy to go downstairs to get the toaster to bring it upstairs to toast my toast, which doesn't toast perfectly. That toaster does not toast perfectly. You guys have no idea what a moment this was. So I threw it in the air fryer. I'm like, it fries stuff. Maybe it'll do something to my toast. I have never had such a perfectly toasted piece of toast. It was perfect. Absolutely perfect. I am getting rid of my toaster, and we are only making toast in the air fryer now. I'm not kidding.
I know you're not.
You're laughing at me.
I know, it's just so fun. After all these years of listening about the toaster woes,
31
Maybe you need to do
years.
that with your kitchen. Just walk away from your kitchen, get out of it, and then it'll just
31
instantly do
years.
better.
And I have finally, as a matter of fact, what's so ironic about that was I was watching another YouTuber's cooking videos, trying to figure out what kind of cooking videos to do. And she was comparing toasters, and she got a $400 toaster from Japan
Word.
and a $10 toaster from the store. And they basically did the same thing. The Japan one did toast a little bit better, she said. You know, at least the one at the store made it kind of dried out, dehydrated, crouton-y type toast. But the one at the Japanese one, she did say that it was toasted on the outside and soft on the inside. So that was a little bit better, but not for $400.
I have never studied toast that close.
I have.
I just throw it in the toaster. When it pops up, I slap. Today mine was black, totally black. I still just slapped the butter on it and ate it.
My mother does not have any aspirations to raise her standard of living. That's all I'm going to say.
It's
I
just a
personally
piece of
would like to have
toast.
some toast that's not black on one side and raw on the other.
Oh, dear.
So anyway, if you guys want perfectly toasted toast, do it in the air fryer. I think I'll do a video on that.
You might, because I haven't heard of anybody doing toast in the air
I
fryer.
made cinnamon toast. I made oh my goodness, it made the best garlic toast I've ever had. It was good. You're going to buy an air fryer after you eat it. It was good.
You should see under the median's most recent comment near the bottom of Pop's toast.
Under the median. Tara, that toast story is a serious moment for me. I was just this week deciding if my boys could heat up homemade Hot Pockets in the air fryer instead of toaster. I know they can. I think they can. As a matter of fact, I would put the whole thing, just set it in there. Yeah. By the way, you guys' videos are doing really good too. I know. I keep seeing you guys come up on my feed all the time. So that's a good sign. Katie, do you recommend a meal planning service? No.
Oh.
Don't waste your money. It is a waste of money. Everybody's like, oh, it's only $15 a meal. It's cheaper than eating out. I don't spend that for 2 meals for my family of 4. And that's $15 per serving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Per serving.
Per serving.
So if you have 4 people, that's $60. That's crazy.
And is that the ones where they cook them themselves?
Yeah.
Well, see, I've said this before. People don't realize, too, they're so tired when they get home from work or whatever, and they want to do these, have these things delivered because they don't want to bother to go to the grocery store. But you've got to cook it yourself. I mean, it would be cheaper almost to go to McDonald's at that point, than cooking it yourself. But what you don't realize, they give you new recipes every time to use, and you have to take all this time to figure out how to make this new recipe. And one gal tested them and she said, I had my old recipes that I used all the time and I could slap them together in just a few minutes, where these new things, every time she had to cook them, she had to think about it and figure out how to put it all together and do all the, it's hard learning a new recipe. It really, not hard, but you have to get used to it. You just can't automatically throw everything together. And so you don't always think about that, not even the expense, but it takes you more time to do something like that. You could go to the grocery store for the amount of time, more time.
And let me tell you,
to cook
our
them.
kitchen remodel, we're in 5.5 months. Hoping we'll be done by 7 months. Not sure. We'll have to see what happens with the countertops. I have not once gone out to eat because I didn't feel like cooking with the kitchen remodel.
Yeah.
I keep sausage links on hand, onions, potatoes, just fry those up, grill those up. Bacon, we'd have BLTs. We would have green chili. We would have tacos. I just kept the food on hand. That I probably never spent more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes cooking dinner, even with a huge disaster. It's just excuses.
Yeah.
Marie, there's a business idea. Sell your own bag salad to coworkers. Yep. Mm-hmm. There you go.
I wonder if people, maybe you guys could answer this. I wonder if people, part of the problem why it takes so long to cook,
They make it too hard.
Yeah, they don't know how to do the shortcuts. You know, we have a lot of shortcuts that we do.
Well, and that's
when
what
we
I was thinking
cook.
about doing for videos is Mike and I were just talking about this yesterday. Was me just walking through an entire
Yeah,
process.
because there's lots of shortcuts that you can do that you can throw these things together. I've about 3 meals I did this week. It took me 5 minutes.
Like I just leave
And
like
that
I
was having the kitchen cleaned up while I was gone.
Yeah.
Done.
like I made bread this weekend was the boys' birthdays. So I made homemade bread. Our daughter was here, so I thought, well, I need to use up some flour and some milk that's gone sour. And so I thought, well, I'll make up some homemade bread. Send some home with her. Mom was having company, she thought, and I was sending some home with Mom. And as I was sitting there making it, I'm like, I don't understand why people think homemade bread is so hard. I didn't get a measuring cup to measure the flour because it stays in the flour bin, so I'm not washing that. I didn't get a measuring cup to measure the sugar because it stays in the sugar thing. I used one bowl to put my hot water, my yeast, got my yeast going, and then put everything. I had one bowl, one measuring cup that I only used with water. I literally had 2 dishes to wash, a bowl and a spoon.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. We know how to do these really easy shortcuts that you don't get make a big mess when you're doing it. And it goes quickly, you know, like I opened up the refrigerator and I grabbed like 3 or 4 things all at one time instead of going back and forth to pick each thing out, to take it over the counter, fix one thing, then go back and get the next thing. But there's a lot of shortcuts you can do that will make things easier and quicker for you.
Joyce says my sister was making barley soup and she accidentally grabbed sesame seeds instead of barley. We had sesame soup for about a week.
Oh my God.
But you know what? It's good for you. It's very, very rarely, like very rare, maybe 3 times that I throw out food just because it was ruined.
Yeah.
And I burn a lot of stuff. But you just scrape off the burn part and keep going. I mean, I dropped a turkey on the floor, for goodness sakes, on Thanksgiving and we ate it.
I know.
You know, how many people would have thrown that whole turkey in the trash? I was like, I'm sorry. We'll scrape off the dog hair and
It wasn't that
eat the top. But you know, I did. I just scraped everything off the top, left the nice layer to collect all the dog hair and put it in the trash, that part. But I kept most of the meat that landed on the top. So,
and part of that's a good point, because a lot of this stuff too is like a spirit of fear, kind of. You know, everybody worries and stresses over every little aspect of cooking and fixing a meal, or if it's good or it's bad, the expiration dates and stuff like that. And you have to relax a little bit more.
Well, and I wasn't going to get on this.
Well, then you don't need to.
I'm going to, because it really irritated me.
Oh no. Oh no.
So with my pantry reveal, did you guys like my pantry reveal? There were several people on there, and they were like, well, you should have made your shelves wider and you should have put more food in there. Well, what are you doing with all those decorations? Why do you need decorations in a pantry? Okay, first of all, 95% of the stuff in my pantry I'm actually using. Just because I buy cute dishes and display them doesn't mean I have to just have them all shoved in there, all willy-nilly, looking awful.
Yeah, because like she had platter for my dishes, and you use that Sunday, I think, or Saturday.
Stop living in this sense of this poverty mentality of we can't have anything nice. We can't do things nice. Part of the reason, we get so much flack for our garage sale finds. Well, you're just spending and buying so much junk. Well, as you guys saw in my pantry, I used a lot of that junk to decorate my pantry, which really is probably only about 5% of what I have in there. I really don't have that much. But the point that we're trying to make with these Tightwad Tuesday videos, people have this spirit of fear, this spirit of poverty, this spirit of I can't do anything, and it's wrong. Mom was just talking, not even a month ago, I think, about how she would love to have this series of books. But of course, she wasn't going to go buy them new. And what happened? She found them for free. What was there, 20 of them?
Yeah, almost.
20 of them for free at the thrift store.
At the library.
The library. I found a KitchenAid mixer. I paid $45 for a KitchenAid mixer that worked. And I turned around and in an hour, I had it sold for $175. $175. And people say, well, I just can't do that. No, you're not looking hard enough. You are not trying. You're just giving up and you're not even trying.
Mm-hmm.
You can have it's okay to have nice things and be a Christian. And I was not very Christian-like in my response, but I did say, thank you for letting me know how I should arrange my pantry.
No, it wasn't.
But I had another lady, the box of free toys that we got for, we got a big tote, if you guys didn't see yesterday, of free toys. They were all free. So I took them all because we've been having fire pits with people over so we can maybe have some sort of friends, maybe someday. And
well, she had like 30 people and half of them are kids.
Yeah.
Little to big, all ages.
And my kids are old enough,
toys.
I don't have toys anymore. So I've been starting to collect a few toys. So I got this big tote. And a lady actually had the audacity to say, you should have left those toys for some needy kid. Now, let me tell you, that needy kid's parents had just as much access to those garage sales as I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they're at the nail salon getting their nails done on Saturday morning to the tune of $50 to $60, $70 instead of hitting yard sales.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have no sympathy. I don't feel sorry for these people. I feel sorry for the kids having to deal with parents like that.
The thing is, we've dealt with so many people that are like that. We understand that I had a friend one time that she just was going on and on about how she just didn't know what her kids were going to do for Christmas. She was telling everybody how awful her husband had left, and she just didn't have any money. She didn't know what she was going to do. And so finally she went to one of those Christmas tree things where the kids can write what they want. And first of all, what she did was her daughter wanted a huge dollhouse, very expensive dollhouse. And each one of the kids picked out very expensive toys to hang on the Christmas tree. Now, there's a point where, I wanted my kids to have some things that's nice, but I would be reasonable in what I would allow them to write on something like that. But what she didn't tell anybody, she just kept going on how they just didn't have anything, is that the kids had two different sets of grandparents that just smothered them in mounds of toys at Christmas time. And so you see, she gave the impression of neediness, and she insisted upon having her hair cut no matter what, every 6 weeks.
This woman was a number.
And she paid to have
She manipulated her way to everything, used the single mom card, manipulating her way into everything.
Yeah.
That's why I do not put up with the single mom card. It makes me angry.
Yeah. And see, she's not the only one. We've been in business doing this for years, and we counsel people. We dealt with people doing all kinds of stuff. And I hate to say it, but a majority of the people that are needy
aren't.
They aren't. They aren't.
They're not truly needy.
Yeah. And it's sad. And what makes me angry about this is because they're taking things, it takes away from the people that truly do need stuff and gives those people, put them in bad light. It makes people not want to give to anybody because of these people over here. So
Tracy says, busted. I just ate store-bought cookies. Actually, store-bought cookies aren't necessarily a bad deal.
no,
By the time you have to buy chocolate chips and all
Mhm.
this stuff, store-bought cookies actually might be just as cheap as
Yeah.
making them at home. So I wouldn't discount that
don't
at
feel
all.
guilty
Yeah.
about store-bought cookies.
Sue, I think the price of food and gas is hurting everyone who's not wealthy. That's just not true. What's hurting them is going to Starbucks, eating out,
Mhm.
going and buying all this pre-prepared food, convenience foods, buying drinks like sodas and booze and juices. That's what's making people hurt.
Yeah.
I think I am going to go to Walmart and see if I can pay some people to look at their shopping cart.
People are used to a certain lifestyle, and what they don't realize, there's times in life and situations that you may have to give up some of that stuff for a while, and nobody wants to do that. So they holler about it, and it seems like it's a bigger deal than what it really.
Yeah. Eva says the Story cake mix is on sale for 85 cents, so I bought a lot of them.
Oh, wow.
A lot of birthdays coming up, so is that a good deal? Yeah, that's a really
Very
good deal. But here's another thing on cake mixes. So if, you guys will see it in a little bit. I did a video where I showed making Jack's ice cream cake with a cake mix that was expired that I bought for 15 cents after Halloween. Halloween, Christmas, Easter, Valentine's Day. You can get lots of cake mixes and brownie mixes and cereals and stuff like that for super cheap.
Yeah.
Connie, I know this is off topic, but I'm asking everyone for extra prayers for my friend's son. He is 4 years old and has been fighting leukemia. Oh, poor guy. Yes, we will let our viewers know that. Cynthia, Indiana's dry. I think y'all are getting our rain. Yeah. Well, we've been mowing. We have 2 to 3 people mowing every day. And we have 2 to 3 people mowing every day, and we're barely keeping up with mowing our yard. Let me tell you,
grass is growing so
just
fast.
Crazy. Although it's good for the garden if I can just get my fencing up before the deer eat it. But I have my blood meal now, so it's going down. But see, I've been having to put out more blood meal because the rain washed it away, so I have to go put it out again. So, but yeah, I may go through that 150 pounds this year. Rebecca, the saying, the meme that's going around. You spend 3 months and $300 to save 30 cents on a tomato that you grow. To get a 30-cent tomato, I guess. That's how it went. All right. Let's see. Melissa made our apricot chicken. Thank you very much for supper tonight. I think that's in volume 2, right there. 25%
We've
off,
got
guys.
a peach pork chop recipe.
It's really good.
That's really good too.
Yeah, except I can't find peach jelly now. I may have to make I don't even know if there's peaches in there. Did I look into the Hummels? I did not look into those. I just briefly looked. I didn't look real hard, but I just briefly looked, and it looks like they're about $15. Similar ones possible. Okay, let's see what. Oh, interesting. Tina says she went to a local store and they've stopped putting the price and weight on meat packages. There's no way to know how much you're buying. I can't believe that's legal.
Wow. Yeah.
I would think that would be illegal.
Huh.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Steve says penny pinchers will survive. Yep, that's true. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, hamburger helper is now $1.68 a box. Lori says you don't need to buy hamburger helper because you have our hamburger without the cough drop. We have our hamburger casserole dining on a dime cookbook right there.
It's really
it's like 50 cents. Yeah,
it's really easy.
All right. Let's see. Sue says $15 is not enough to live on. $15 for what? Groceries. Yeah, you're not supposed to live on $15 a month for a dollar. You're supposed to go get a better job. Hello, $15 $15 is more than plenty to live on, but frugally. But those jobs at Walmart and all those are beginner jobs. They're not living wage jobs. They're for teenagers. They're for retired people who are just trying to just get a few hours here and there. They're not for living wage. If you're working at those jobs, then you need to get a better job that pays a living wage.
And I live off of the same amount that a person, maybe even a little less, that makes $15 an hour.
Yeah.
I live off of that. I've
Yeah.
lived off of, and I'm thinking I was rich because I've only lived off of that for 2 years, and I thought I died and went to heaven because I got so much money.
Country Fab, good tip. I just learned the hardware store, Lowe's, if a bag of soil compost was ripped, they will sell to you for $1 a bag. Wow. We don't have Lowe's here, but that's good if you do.
Yeah, Shayla, my daughter-in-law, she worked there. And if the bags of stuff, anything is ripped open, they will give it to you for really, really cheap. So go different times. I don't know what the good times would be. I forget what she said, but you go at different times and you can find them.
Nancy, you did not, if you said yes, I'm actually 50 pounds overweight, but thank you. She says, I look good. Thank you. Yes. And I actually gained 10 pounds doing a keto or the keto / carnivore diet. I did the carnivore diet for a month and I gained 10 pounds. I was not happy about that. Everybody's saying they would love for me to go to the grocery store. I just might do that. All right. Nomi says, I want to make $1 million fudge, but all I have is regular marshmallows. No, that will not work. That's the one with marshmallow cream.
Oh, yeah.
No, you have to have the marshmallow
the
cream.
Cream,
Fluff,
yeah.
whatever it's called. Kimberly says, I could take a pic of her cart for free. Actually, that's what I should do. I should go to Walmart and film these people and have you guys send me what real food looks like in carts. The problem with me is I don't grocery shop that way. Like I go and grocery shop and I will buy 100 pounds of chicken and that's all I'm buying that day.
You just buy the one thing or two things.
I just buy a few things. I really don't grocery shop anymore because I just go and buy what's on sale and restock my pantry. Mom P got her Bible today. I'm so glad.
Oh, good.
Let's see. When I'm nursing, Little Spot of Sunshine says, I have a raging appetite. What would you recommend to moderate that? Well, you can't really moderate that because you're using extra calories producing milk. So you're just going to have to eat the extra calories. But I would say add fat. Make sure you're eating enough fat so that you can get, so you can feel satisfied after eating. That definitely helps a lot. Tracy made the banana bread and tripled the recipe and made 3 loaves. Very good. Yay.
And before you guys have a heart attack about eating fat, I put a thin layer of butter on my graham crackers that I eat for breakfast in the morning, and I stay satisfied until lunch. And I think it's not a whole lot. It's probably not even a teaspoon of butter, not a tablespoon, I barely use a teaspoon of butter on that, but that's just enough fat that my body stays satisfied. And I think part of the problem people are having with their weight and stuff is they cut out all these things like fat, thinking it's going to make them fat. So they're not satisfied. So they're eating more healthy foods, but they're intaking more calories. So you've got to be careful. If you need to have all these different things, you can't just use a specific type of food and then one over here. There's a reason to blend all the different foods.
Yeah. Let's see. Nikki says, I've been watching all your videos, and let me tell you, I've not laughed so much with you 3 time well spent. Well, thank you. I don't know what we say that's so funny.
Either.
People say that all the time, and I'm not. Oh my goodness. Sue says she spent $8 at Panera on an orange scone and a coffee.
Oh, no.
I would have walked out. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe if you got your Bible study or something and you're there and you're like, I got to buy something, but oh my goodness. Wow. Kimberly says you would probably have to ask Walmart if you have to have permission to start filming in their store. No, you don't really have to. I mean, you can, but there's no sign saying that you can't.
Yeah.
Film, so.
And she's filmed other things in the store.
And I would ask people. I wouldn't just film people. I film in Walmart all the time, but
she always asks.
If there's a person in it, then I would ask them. But I wouldn't get people. Probably, I would just get their cards.
Yeah.
Diane, I think if you pay people, they will not be honest with what they put in their carts. No, what I would do is walk up to their full carts and say, I'll give you $10 if I can film this for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah. Francis says, I didn't have cheddar cheese for the shepherd's pie, volume 1, 25% off right now. So I used Parmesan. Very good.
Use what you have.
Herself. Yep. And Kathy says this week Kroger has boneless, skinless chicken breasts for $1.97 a pound. Very good. Yep. Let's see. How long does basic bacon grease last in the fridge? Forever.
Ever.
I mean, I've had it year and a half.
And
I freeze it too.
I keep mine in the fridge now, but years ago when I was living at home, nobody, and I had somebody else say the same thing with their household, and everybody just left it sitting on the stove in a little container. Mm-hmm. You never put it in the fridge, and they just used the same thing over and over.
An idea I just came up with. I am just so brilliant.
Well, of course, you take after your mother.
This is Tara's brilliant idea. You know those silicone ice cube trays and they're 1 tablespoon holes? Mm-hmm. Put it in there, freeze it, and pop those in and just pull out 1 tablespoon every time you need to use something. That's a brilliant idea. You heard that first here. Nobody's ever said that one. Froze family says butter here has always been about that price. Wow. That's crazy if you're paying that much. Nebo says coconut oil is great on popcorn. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Donna says, by only shopping sales, I'm able to keep fully stocked pantry. People have 6 months extended pantry and was able to save almost $1,600.
Wow. That's good.
Cheryl, thankfully, I bought several pounds of butter a year ago when it was $1.50 a pound. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I do. Nancy, my grandchildren are in elementary school and like your cookbooks. Yay.
Oh,
she picks out the recipe they want and they need all the items lined up. Very good.
That's fun to know.
She's their assistant. Little Spot of Sunshine. Anyone have family-friendly ideas for sardines? Oh, I don't think you can do sardines. Now, here's the thing, though. I actually like sardines with mustard.
You do?
On crackers. I like them with mustard on crackers.
Did you start eating them in Sweden?
No, I started eating them when I was on that, when I was on my one of thousands of diets for food allergies. But
what would you do with sardines? Well, you could just couldn't you use them just like a...
Just like fish.
Yeah, regular fish.
I don't know. I don't know. I had a hard time eating sardines, though.
If you guys have any suggestions, pop in.
Visually, I liked it, but I kind of had to close my eyes to eat it because visually it was hard on me. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Cheryl, what do you do when you have to put in a new furnace that's almost $4,500? You just suck it up and have to figure out how to come up with the $4,500, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. I mean, really,
there's not a
lot you can do.
Now, this doesn't always work. It depends on the age of your house. But I lived in a 1940s house. And when I moved in there, nothing had been done to the house for 50 years or more. And I knew that the air conditioner was going to be going out before long. I knew that it had a dishwasher. I don't use dishwashers, but it was going to go out. The refrigerators, different things. A lot of the stuff on the house I knew was going to conk out. So I took out one of those insurances. What are they called? What are they called?
Well, they're
kind of iffy. You need
they're
to.
The house
some of them
insurance where they'll fix stuff, but the problem is they don't always fix stuff. So.
Yeah, you have to be really picky. I found out a really good one. I can't remember what it was now. And the thing was, even though I had to pay the monthly insurance within I think it was 4 or 5 months, my furnace had gone out, my refrigerator had gone out, the dishwasher had gone out, and thank goodness they had paid for all of that. Mm-hmm. And so it paid me to get that insurance. Now, I hesitate in saying this because sometimes, like Tara says, the insurance companies aren't really good. But, it's too late for you to do that now. That won't help you now. But for others that maybe have an older home that will start having things go out like that, it might pay for that. Oh, the wash machine, too. It was my wash machine, too. So...
Girl with a plan, I save money by making salad dressings from your cookbooks.
Oh.
Yay. The Italian dressing was so good. Thank you. Yes. We're actually selling the spice mixes from our cookbooks for a fundraiser. And people are like, when are you going to be having more spices? Because those were so good.
Yeah, she sold out of them. And it hasn't been that
sold
long.
Out
when did you
in an hour and a half, I sold out of them 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I think. 4 weeks ago. I don't know. 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was at a craft show. Yep.
And they're already wanting her to get
they're already wanting more. Anita, local Walmart has super cheap chicken hindquarters, but now huge pride display. Oh, brother. What would you, I feel sick buying there now. What would you do? Oh my goodness. Okay. So we did a whole show on this last live. Our last live was about this, but let me just give you the short answer. It's not going to be short, but I'll give you the short answer. You are not going to be able to shop anywhere now without having to deal with this. So you're going to have to pick and choose what you're going to do. Okay.
Pick the
Now,
hill to die for.
For me, 8 or 10 years ago, whenever it was, when Target allowed mentally ill men to go into the women's restroom, I stopped shopping at Target. I refused to shop at a store that would do that. Now, they are displaying for children and all this stuff at the front of the store. Well, what do you expect? That's Target. I was not surprised at all by it. I was not surprised. Target's already proven that they do not respect women and girls. No big surprise for me. I had already not been shopping there. My Walmart has the same display. And I will be perfectly honest, I had thought about taking every one of those things off, buying them and returning them on July 1st. Thought about doing it, seriously. But you aren't going to be able to shop anywhere now.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to figure out where you want to draw the line for this stuff. Walmart is doing it. Amazon's doing it. I know Kroger is doing it. I can't think, maybe our local grocery store here, possibly. I don't know. But you pretty much can't walk into any place without this baloney now. And so you're just going to have to decide where you're going to pick and choose. Like the Bible says that it's going to be like in the days of Noah, right before the rapture happens and Jesus comes back. Well, did Noah just not do business with anyone? I find that hard to believe that he didn't. And yet every single person on the earth, except for those 8 people, I think it was 8, were considered so wicked in God's eyes that he had to kill them all. Well, if you can imagine how wicked they were, that God had to kill them, how is our society any different? Our society is no different.
Well, and it said Lot was sitting at the city gates, which usually meant he was doing business right before God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So, he was having to do business and buy things and sell things and stuff like that. So it's going to be, you're just going to have to kind of pray about it and do the best that you can at this point. Target's always been kind of there's been a bad vibe with Target for me. Walmart, I don't feel that vibe quite as bad, even though I don't agree with that stuff. So it's kind of like you just have to kind of just pray about it and see which one should I do or not do, and do it that way. I don't know of any other way to tell you, because it's going to start getting worse. That's part of the reason why we talked about the prepping a lot. I don't know if Tara did it for this reason, but I've been buying things and stuff because I knew things were going to get worse with this type of thing. And it's going to get even worse when they take over control of our money. You're not going to be able to, they're just going to totally control where you buy everything and what you do. And we're fighting as best as we can for the moment, but it's going to get to the point where we're not going to have too much choice anymore, freedoms. And so I'm getting as much stuff as I can afford to right now, so that I don't have to worry as much about spending money and buying things, So
Thrive on the Journey says organic chicken scratch used to cost $20 for 40 pounds. Now it's $42. Instead of charging $5 a dozen for eggs, she went up to $7. I know.
Yeah.
I don't buy eggs from farmers because it's not a good deal.
Yeah, because it's hard. They have
and it's
to
not
pay.
your fault.
No,
I'm not saying it's your fault, but I'm not going to
because the
spend
farmers
that.
have to pay a lot for that feed and everything, fencing. You know, they fix the chicken coops and do all the work for it and everything. So,
yeah.
We've had chickens before, so we know how much work they can be.
Yeah. Tracy said, oh, Tracy, wow. She says she lived in Joplin, Missouri when the tornado hit her backyard. Cases of water were left on corners for people to take. Supply was not a problem. People all over were bringing in supplies from all over. I was injured and my husband was taking care of me. Volunteers were everywhere. Good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in that case, then I would say if somebody was charging $10, then yeah, that would be price gouging if you're able to do that. I'm just saying, I'm not saying people don't price gouge. Please don't think I'm not saying that. I understand that. But at the same time, a lot of people think that businesses don't have expenses either. And so, we get a lot of criticism. Well, why do you charge so much for your cookbook? Well, because I need to make a living. I have people that work for us that we need to pay.
See, people think we
wrote
a book and now we just sit back and don't do anything. You have to spend hours and hours marketing and doing stuff to sell the book.
Well, yeah, and like Robin says, people who own businesses are not doing it for practice. Most people have no clue how much money goes into running one. Exactly.
Yeah, they don't. Mm-hmm.
I was listening to Roberto Blake, who's a YouTube grow guy. He's really good. If you guys are trying to grow your YouTube channels, watch him. He's really good. But he was saying, he said I could get he's like 600,000 or something subscribers. He said I could get to 1 million subscribers, but then he said, yeah, I'll double my income, but then I also have to double my workforce because I can't do it all. So I'm still earning the same amount of money. Mm-hmm. So you have to look at it that way.
Yeah.
So Cheryl says the price you charge for the cookbooks is fair, reasonable in my humble opinion. Yes, and I agree. And I'll tell you, a lot of people say, I saved $200 on the first trip to the grocery store. I saved $300 on my first trip to the grocery store. A ton of people say that all the time. Just in taco seasoning alone, you will save $50 in a year.
I wouldn't feel right selling anything to anybody if I didn't think they could get all their money back and then some.
Yeah, Sheldon says the cookbooks pay for themselves.
Yeah, because that's the only way I can really endorse it, and I push it. Otherwise, I don't sell stuff that I don't think can really help people.
She's in her apron. We love fish tacos. Homemade is the best. Man, mine, the ones at the restaurant were really good. But then I made mine and I was like, man, mine are really good.
That reminds me that those hamburgers were so good, Kimmy. Oh my goodness, that night. I've never had a hamburger like that in my whole life.
That's pretty good.
They were so good.
Nebo says, what kind of fish? I use tilapia on mine, but it just, she's in her apron. It says any whitefish. Yeah. And Tana says eating too much chicken. Amen. I know. I'm just like, if I eat another piece of chicken, I'm going to choke. I've been like that for years, but anyway, we still make chicken. She's in her apron, spoiled, and grabbed Carl's Jr. for my daughter and I. 2 combo meals, a small shake, $37. 2 combo meals and a small milkshakes. Holy cow.
Yeah.
She said, never again.
Yeah.
No way, Jose.
The fast foods are really getting, mind-boggling.
But people keep going.
I know. I went this past week because my grandsons, it was their birthday, and I got them some mozzarella sticks because they were 1.
Yeah, but they were 2 for buy one, get one free.
Yeah, you did get it. I didn't get it for that, like that.
Kimmy says we should drive back and go get the hamburgers.
Yeah, I know. It'd be worth it just to go get the hamburgers again.
I know.
I don't know what they did to those hamburgers. I could not figure it out, but they were so good.
Yeah. Samantha's catching us live for the first time.
Oh,
Yay,
glad you're here.
She loves that we speak the truth, even if it's hard for us to hear. You're welcome. She said, thank you. Jenny's Farm. My family loves 90-minute Amish bread recipe in volume 2. Make it into hamburger and hot dog ones. Yep. right there.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yep. And Cooking with Cat Liver says she's making a homemade shake and bake right now. Yes. Mary Avery says, by the way, I'm paying her car off early, 2 years early this month. That is great.
Very good.
And she's going to take the car payment in the future car fund. That's exactly what you should do.
That's
Good
a
job.
very good idea. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Firefly said she made $750 at her yard sale. Good job.
Wow.
Actually, I've got enough stuff now. I'm trying to think if I should have a yard sale. But I find so many good deals at other people's yard sales. I think I would save more by buying the other good deals than making it mine. And I would leave Mike here to do it, but
no. Leave you here to do the garage sale. Oh, that's funny.
he would just let him take it
You
all.
would let him just say, go for it.
He would just put a
back your
free
pickup,
sign out there.
back your pickup and just start tossing on the truck. Poor
He's
Mike.
a take it to the dump kind of a guy.
He doesn't have the full vision we have when we buy these things, does he?
His goal in life is to die with one box, and he's there. I would say he's there. All the crap in our house is mine. It really is.
Cooper was your name.
Wanda, what temp do you set the toast? 390, whatever the highest air fryer thing was, and I just let it cook for like 3 minutes or something. Oh, 3 or 4 minutes, I don't know. Heather says my husband does Instacart on his off hours, and you're right. Can't believe how much people pay. I know. It's
on his
ridiculous.
what? Does what?
Instacart, like DoorDash.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My goodness. Yeah.
Well, they tip people. You know, you have to include the tip besides what the company charges, and then
let me tell you, those people that do it make pretty good money.
Yeah.
What is a victory garden? A victory garden from World War II. They had people plant gardens because all of the boys had to go off to war, so there was nobody running the farms, and so that the food that they did have, they needed to ship to the boys who were fighting to keep them fed, and so they encouraged people to have their own gardens at home to help with the supply of food.
So if you had any kind of yard at all, you used it for a garden and not like a lawn. And people that normally didn't do gardening, they encouraged them to do these.
Yep. Mary says every time you talk about these things, it makes me feel happy that I'm using the brains God gave me.
You know, I feel like we preach to the choir sometimes here because our viewers really, a lot of them have it together. They do really good. So,
Denise says I was on vacation last week with 5 other girls in our family. We went to eat a giant crab restaurant in Myrtle Beach one night. Can you imagine paying $42 for a buffet? For each person?
yeah. Wow.
No, I cannot imagine that. My great niece thought it would be amazing. It was not any better than any other fish place. I asked the man waiter if it was extra good. I felt like I could get 3 seafood plates for $42 anywhere. This is in South Carolina. Just saying, folks, don't waste your money.
Wow.
So don't go to Giant Crab in Myrtle Beach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Everybody's talking about fish tonight. It sounds so good. I haven't had fish for a while. I love fish.
Yeah.
You guys tell us what you're cooking for supper. And we're sitting here and it's supper time here in my stomach. I keep hearing my stomach growling.
So everybody wants me to do a show on making toast in the air fryer. Maybe that'll be my first cooking video. Well, my first one I already made doing the ice cream cake, which got stuck in the pan. That was a flop. Although everybody really liked it and they said it really tasted good, and Jack's still eating it because he's the only one that eats ice cream in our family, but he's still eating on it. But Diane, gluten-free bread is expensive. Show us how. I need to buy the green book. Buy the green book and make my sandwich bread in there and follow the recipes exactly, and you will make gluten-free bread for $1.50 instead of $7 for a loaf, and it's really good.
And do follow it exactly. I got another comment this past week, and the gal said, "Oh, this was the best recipe." And she said, "All what I did was I did use this for this and this for this. And she exchanged 4 of the ingredients.
How did it even turn out?
I know, but she said it was delicious.
It's on our website, livingonadime.com. Go search.
So I
gluten-free
laugh
sandwich
because
bread.
I get these comments like that all the time. Oh, this was so good.
Yeah.
And then they tell how they changed it.
Livingonadime.com, gluten-free sandwich bread. It'll do it. Let's see. Sue says she loved the display of functional pieces in the pantry. Thank you. I think your pantry should be nice looking so you're motivated to keep it clean. And also, like I said, I don't have everything in there yet, but still, I was just amazed at how, yeah, I know, it's my pantry, people. You're telling me how to arrange my pantry? I don't go into your house and tell you how to arrange your pantry unless you ask me. If you ask me, I'll tell you. But my goodness.
I go into some homes and people have very different colors and ways of decorating. And they're so tickled with them. And I look at this stuff through their eyes. It may not be something I would do, but I can enjoy it with them because I see how excited they are over it, you know? And
well,
so,
as Kimberly says, tact is not my spiritual gift. I get that, but I don't go into people's houses and say, oh, that's techie. My goodness. Under the Median says frugal is not the same as deprivation. Yeah, no kidding. That's, I mean, you guys are the example of that. That's for sure. Well, we are too, but I mean, brother. How then do we find the people who truly need help? Okay, so one way I look at the car they're driving. If they're driving an old clunker, I'm pretty sure they may need help. I look at the things that they buy and the restaurants that they eat at and stuff like that. That's how you know. I look at their fingernails. If they have the latest iPhone, I look at that. All of those things are not necessities, and they could do without those or sell those and then pay for the things that they actually need.
And sometimes, and I even hesitate with this, but it depends on the church. You'd have to know. Sometimes if you go through if you're at church, they do vet people pretty good.
Some of them do.
Yeah, some. That's why I'm hesitating. Some churches don't, but some do vet the people. But it's much better if you could find out, find out with people you really know.
Yeah.
And that type of thing. If you have neighbors or friends and they mention somebody that really needs help, and then you could do further research on it and that type of thing.
Katie wants to know, what are my thoughts on Weight Watchers? I mean, it's fine, but all it is just measuring the amount of food you have.
Yeah,
so.
all those ones like that. They say you can eat everything, and they're right. That's why I say you fix any of our food, but you just do the portion size yourself. Find out what the serving size is and just eat that amount. And that's all Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig, all those other ones. What they do is they send you the right portions, the right serving size. That's all they're doing. And you can do that at home with regular food. You just measure out what the right serving size is. And you don't have to measure out every single meal all the time. After a week or two, you're going to be able to eyeball how much one serving size of green beans is, or how much one serving size of a piece of chicken is. It's usually about fist size for most serving sizes on everything. So it's more of an emotional support is what Weight Watchers does. You think you're getting something there, or it's more, what's the word I want, that the people are supporting you and encouraging you on. And if you're trying to save money, just do it yourself, and you'll get encouraged by the money you're saving and by the weight you're losing if you just follow the portion size, and just eat that way. You can pretty much eat anything. That's why Weight Watchers says you can eat anything you want and use our Weight Watchers, because they just give you a piece of cake, but they give you a serving size, and they maybe only give you one piece every couple of days or something. So.
And I lost the comment, but somebody wants to know, are you here, Mike?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yes, I am. Hello, everyone. Here we go.
Cat liver was my bacon grease idea. You heard it first here. When you see it on a YouTube Shorts, you'll know somebody stole it from me. Okay, let me go through and see what we got here. Thank you, everyone, for loving my pantry. And I know there's going to be people, will you put your pantry on YouTube? That's what you expect. No, people don't need to be rude.
Yeah, don't be.
I don't go to other people's YouTube channels and say, well, you're just being cheap.
Yeah.
Decorate your pantry. Stop making your home look like white trash. No, I don't say that. Stop complaining about how you have no money and do something to fix up your house and fix up your life and go to the thrift stores or whatever to make yourself want to be at home so you're not having to be out all the time. I don't go to other people's channels and tell them that when they're whining about not having any money.
You should never ever put a negative comment.
But,
even if you totally don't agree with the people, there's no reason for you to go on there and be unkind.
Yeah. Elizabeth says, when you talk about fingernails, do you mean salon nails? Yes, I mean salon nails. I don't care if you go buy a 99-cent thing of polish at the store and do your own nails, which is what Mom and I do. But I'm talking about the $50, $60, $70, $80, $100 nails and hairdos that people are doing. It's just ridiculous. But I know.
You can usually tell because I've known people where they said, I don't know how I'm ever going to have a house. I can't afford a house and don't know what we're going to do. But the year before they went on a vacation, that cost them between $4,000 and $5,000. They bought a brand new car. They have the top of the line iPhones or phones, cell phones. And so you could pretty much tell when people.
Yeah. Steve says, during that thing going around in Michigan, governor banned the sale of gardening supplies as frivolous. I know, I remember that. But you guys, not you, Steve, but the people keep voting her in.
Mm-hmm.
Stop voting for these people. It's like, I don't know. Nancy says, my grandmother talked about her World War II victory garden. My grandfather was always working. Grandma and her neighbors shared food, veggies. She said hobos came by and they always fed them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kimmy from She's in Her Apron says, no way would our government promote gardens these days. I know. Yep.
And did you hear what she said? Not Kimmy, but the gal before, about how hobos would come by and they would feed them, and neighbors shared their gardens and stuff like that. Because part of the reason they did that was there were food shortages. They actually couldn't get stuff in, and a lot of stuff in. That's why we compare what we're going through now to those types of things. And
not
there's
even
just
close.
Yeah, we're not like during the Depression. People just have no idea.
Well, and like Jessica says, Tara, I would love for you to check out some menu prices from New Zealand. You might fall off your chair. Exactly. Now, New Zealand, that makes sense. Hawaii, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They have to boat in food or fly in food. I don't know how you get your food there, but you don't get it by car. I know that much. Or truck, not car, truck or train. I can see those prices being crazy expensive, but then Christy says it's expensive here in Hawaii. However, your tips are helping me.
Yeah.
She said, come visit.
Oh dear.
I will be there next week.
What do you mean next week? Tomorrow.
And I will
We're heading to Colorado on the airport. No, we'll go to Sheridan Airport and leave from there. It's faster.
Next June. You don't mind if I stay until next June? Samantha says it costs $40 for Chipotle for a family. Oh my goodness. Yeah. No way. Absolutely no way would I do that. That's just crazy. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Just Vicky, people actually still have a heart for humanity then. Things have changed. I don't know that it would happen again except for a few pockets of society. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Kimmy says, nothing comes to you without being proactive. My hubby has a great job. I'm doing what I can to hit our goal for our next home. No whining. Yes, Kimmy does not whine, and they have been through a lot. Jenny, why are you having 30 people in your house? Oh my goodness. Did we tell this story already? I don't know. Did we?
I don't know.
Well, okay, I'll tell it short. So we've been trying to have people over to our house, and what happened was for Memorial Day, I put a thing out. So we have this group of people we know. And I said, we are having a fire pit. If anyone would like to come, just let me know. Well, so I had 2 people say they would come from that group, a mom and a son, Jack's friends. And so then I said, nobody, it doesn't look like anybody coming. So why don't you see if the pastor and his wife wants to come over and another gal from the church wants to come over. And she said, okay. So they said that they would come over. So it was going to be us and them. So we were up to like 12 or 13 people or something. So then we were prepared for that. And then afterwards, everybody just started showing up.
Yeah, it was really funny because
they were like, "Oh, we can make it after all. We'll be over."
Yeah,
in a few
cars started
minutes."
driving down the driveway and parking in their lot, and we just getting out of the car and said, "Oh, we decided to come," and so just more and more kept coming.
So we thought we'd have like between 11 and 15 people, and then we ended up having 30 people, which it worked fine. It worked fine. I just think it's funny.
Yeah, we were just laughing because it was so funny how it was something you'd see in a movie where people were just coming down, more and more were walking down, and it worked out really. I thought it was really nice. Yeah, it worked out really good.
But my friend, she brought a bowl like this
huge bowl
of fruit, and when she walked in, I said, "I'm sorry." I said, "You guys and the pastor and
the other
gal are the only ones who are coming. We're not going to eat this." She said, "Oh, that's fine. We'll eat it over, the week or whatever." It was all gone.
Yeah.
All my potato salad. I made a potato salad this big before I didn't know anybody was coming. And it was all gone. There was 1 serving left. And thankfully the week before, couple of days before, I had gone and they had hamburgers on sale. So I had stocked up, but I wouldn't have had enough hamburgers because I didn't think anybody. And it
was fun.
It turned out just fine. I just think it's hilarious how we thought, oh, nobody's coming, and then people just kept coming.
It was really
but it was lots of fun. So now we're just planning that when we make the announcement we're having a fire pit, we're just going to have 30 people, and then we'll just expect that. But like we had lots of kids. I didn't know some of these families had younger kids, and so we have a really nice playhouse, but nobody uses it. So I thought, well, I'll start getting some stuff to put in the playhouse for them to play with and things like that. And so
the kids were all really good. They played. Yeah. They all had fun.
Yeah. Okay. So how's the kitchen remodel going? Okay. So I'll give you guys an actual update here real quick. So we are at can we just poke our eyeballs out stage? We got the window in, as some of you have seen in the videos. The countertops have cracked. So now they have to come in and redo the countertops, but we're not quite sure how to fix that yet. We have an idea, but we're not sure. I am trying to get the molding around the windows done. If I can get the molding done, then I can do the kitchen reveal. I just got to get that molding done. And now we have to replace our brand new kitchen faucet. So the faucet that Mike took hours, he spent 8 or 10 hours on this trying to get the kitchen sink in. And the faucet that he got in, it is by Glacier Bay. You should be ashamed of yourselves. I don't know what's wrong with it, but there's a metallic taste. Mike says it tastes like you're tasting the end of battery, and he's right. People who zap themselves with batteries to see if they're still good, that's what it tastes like. And we have flushed hundreds, if not thousands, of gallons of water through that thing. We cleaned everything. It's not happening in any of the rest of the house. We have a huge whole house filter. It's not happening anywhere else on the rest of the house. So now we have to go and change the kitchen faucet, put in the under cabinet lighting molding, and possibly put up the tile. At this point, I'm about ready to just give up on the tile. I might just give up on the tile. So that's where we're at. We're so close to being done, and it's just not ending. It just won't stop. I'm trying to get it to stop and it won't stop. So that's where we are on the kitchen remodel. We have already, I did shoot one video the other day for making Mike's birthday ice cream cake. So
You mean
yeah.
Jack's?
Or I mean, who did I say?
Mike.
Oh, Jack's. Sorry. Jack's birthday ice cream cake. So anyway, that's where we're at on it. I don't know. We might be done in July. Maybe. I don't know if he's coming this weekend or the weekend after to look at the countertops to see. The big hang up is going to be if they have to, oh, please no. If they have to re-epoxy the countertops, then it's going to be waiting another month for them to cure.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I really like the kitchen though. I'm glad we got it done. It's really pretty.
A whole world of difference. I mean, you just feel different in it now.
It's a lot more usable.
Yeah. It's lighter and brighter and yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah. So we're really super happy that that happened. I mean, that we did it because, you know, but yeah. So anyway, all right, guys, visit us livingonadime.com, 25% off our cookbooks right now. We will see you guys next time.
Bye-bye, guys. Love ya.